today. Arctic storms have left at least 4 dead and knocked out power to tens of thousands in the northwest, brought snow to the south, and walloped the northeast with blizzard conditions, postponing the Buffalo Bills-Pittsburgh Steelers playoff game until today. I'm Julie Walker.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul says the high wind and heavy snow are creating near blizzard conditions in her state.
We all know, as Western New Yorkers, how dangerous the triple threat is. The triple threat of icy cold temperature with high winds and the blowing snow, and how dangerous that all can be.
Dallas area resident Kaylin Williams told KDFW he was stocking up over the weekend.
Got a lot of batteries, candles, warmers. We have like emergency blankets just in case. The storm that hit us a couple years ago was really bad in my area, so the power went out for like a week.
Voting is set to begin tonight in icy Iowa as former President Trump eyes a resounding victory there and with a big lead in the polls. Justifiably so, the Iowa caucuses start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Will all this weather affect him? Polls suggest Mr. Trump enters the day with a massive lead, and his one-time chief rival, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, is fighting for second place in what could make or break his campaign by tonight. The former United Nations ambassador, Nikki Haley, the only woman in the race, stands in DeSantis' way, and she's been making recent gains. This is SRN News.
Retirement Outlook.
If your retirement account is mostly stocks or bonds, listen closely. The future of your savings may be more uncertain than ever before. Hi, I'm Paul Stone, CEO of Colonial Metals. The sad truth is, our government continues to eat away at our freedoms and security. In economic times like these, run around the flagpole by lunatics in Washington, I look to the most trusted store of wealth in human history, physical gold and silver that you own. At Colonial Metals, we specialize in helping folks with IRAs and 401ks and other retirement accounts move their savings into physical gold and silver. If you'd like a free gold investment kit, give us a call today at 820-800-8000. My team is standing by ready to rush a free gold investment kit to you. You may also qualify for $7,500 in free silver and a free safe. Call 820-800-8000 now. That's 820-800-8000.
Colonial Metals is not a financial advisor. Consult with your advisor before investing.
That's 820-800-8000.
After earthquakes devastated western Afghanistan in October, UNICEF says nearly 100,000 children are in dire need of support.
UNICEF's representative in Afghanistan, Fran Akiza, says families uprooted by a 6.3 magnitude earthquake and aftershocks in Herat province 3 months ago are living in life-threatening conditions as winter takes hold, with schools, health facilities, and water systems destroyed by the natural disasters. Over 1,000 people were killed and 21,000 homes were knocked down in October. Akiza says the atmosphere in these villages is thick with suffering. Families lost absolutely everything. Winter has taken hold and temperatures hover below freezing. UNICEF says it needs $1.4 billion to help alleviate the crisis. I'm Jennifer King.
Africa's biggest oil refinery has begun production in Nigeria. After a years-long wait, the $19 billion Dangote Petroleum Refinery facility can produce up to 650 barrels a day. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. A protest by farmers in Berlin over planned subsidy cuts.
This protest, in truth, has become about so much more than this particular row over plans to phase out a fuel tax subsidy. About 10,000 people estimated to be here today, so I think there'll be a very long day for the protesters. You get a lot of people gathering around fire pits, having something to eat, having something to drink. A lot of farmers are really here for the long haul today, and to give you a sense of what they're saying, yes, they're angry about this tax subsidy row, they're angry about rules and regulations, they say, handed down from Berlin, but also the EU in Brussels.
That's the BBC's Jessica Parker. A federal judge has halted enforcement of an Ohio law that would require children under the age of 16 to get parental consent before they use popular social media apps. The litigation argues the law unconstitutionally impedes free speech. More details at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of the world down his shoulder. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch, and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
Your SRN program begins in 10 seconds.
Sorry about that. Final countdown. That was poetic, I think, a bit to play the final countdown there. Good morning, one and all. That is, I am Mike Winters. Despite this voice you may or may not recognize unless you're listening Friday. You're like, oh, that guy. But happy Monday, everybody. I feel pretty okay.
Yeah.
I mean, my energy's a little... Like I get tired, but
I'm just really short of breath now, and my sinus is still kill. But other than that, I mean, it was amazing to me how quickly it hit, how hard it hit, and then how it just sort of was, going away.
Yeah.
Like I was on the downhill side of it pretty quickly.
Mine's taking a lot longer, obviously. Right. But yeah, the only thing I don't have a voice. It just hasn't. Believe it or not, this is an improvement. Like Friday, I was trying to talk even like this. I could do it in short bursts.
Right.
But then I have to pause and take a nap.
Catch your breath. Oh,
yeah.
I understand.
And so today I can shoot. My problem is if I try to even kind of push, just even when I yell out good, if I just push, just goes good, it just turns out.
You get the voice cracks.
So I'm actually putting this little just to get some kind of audio to go through that people can understand.
I got to tell you, I was specifically forcing myself to not cough at the beginning to middle of it so that I didn't sound like you, because that's what I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, I can't sound like Mike.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have, and I take the Mucinex now, and that kind of breaks it up, but there is still this clump of crud. It feels like it just doesn't want to shoot out.
Yeah.
I'm guessing one day that'll come out and I'll be like, I'll sound like, I would say I sound like, Frank Sinatra or nothing.
Back to your old self.
Yeah. But, might at least sound like not Froggy from the Little Rascals. That's a deep dive there.
Well, I was going to say we should change the name of this show to Froggy and Foggy in the Morning. It's rough. For those who don't know, I'm pretty sure, I don't know this for sure, pretty sure it was RSV.
Yeah.
And the issue though is now my kids have it. Like I tried desperately to stay away. I had them for one night when I had it, and I quarantined in my space and they were in theirs. But germs get moved around and
this particular thing, it only comes in one size, and it's the shareable size. No fun size with this one. And yeah, it's a brutal. So you're right. If you get this stuff, it just stay home. But good news is, I don't know yet. I'm still getting through it.
Good news on this side is I don't think we're contagious anymore.
No. I think once all that, days ago, when I was back here by Thursday, I was not contagious. It's just sitting right here because my head's pretty clear. I mean, I wake up in the mornings and full of crap, but I literally feel, except for this, normal. So it's like the last bastion just holding on that won't say, move on. So
I do kind of want to get you to do the opening lines of a Barry White song for me before you get your voice back, though.
Well, my wife had one request.
Oh, yeah?
And it was Wednesday. And I did it on the radio.
I think I heard it.
Bees.
Yep.
Bees.
That is a very obscure reference to a movie that really didn't get the attention it should have.
It's a top 5 sleeper movie. I always forget the name of it.
I know, me too.
Is Is it As Good as It Gets? Or it's the one where the guy falls in love with his sister, but he didn't know it was his sister, and then he found out it was his sister. It's a comedy. It's got Sally Field, believe it or not.
Klein.
Sally Field is the mother in it, and the guy from American Pie is the main character.
Chris Klein.
Chris Klein.
Say It Isn't So.
Say It Isn't
Yep,
So. That's the
one.
movie. And the love interest is what's her name? The blonde.
It would be. Let me find the cast. Heather Graham.
Yeah, Heather Graham. I was like, she was in the Hangover movies. I couldn't remember her name. But that's the bit. And so they're the love interest. But Chris Klein's dad, who is played by the guy who was the dad in Step Brothers, I don't know his name either. He has a problem where he's in a wheelchair. He's like paralyzed or something.
He's like a full body cast.
Yeah. And he has a voice box thing to talk, so he sounds like me. And so he's always stuck pretty much in the wheelchair. And then so Sally Fields is like his caretaker. Well, in the movie, they park him by this garden, and this bee shows up. Next thing you know, a bunch of bees, and then before you look, he's got like the Abe Lincoln bee beard covered in bees, and he's just sitting there, and someone looks at him and goes, "Oh my God," and he goes, "Bees."
It's
So that's what we're referencing, and every time when I do the bees thing. With this
I'm
here.
gonna have to find that clip or out of context and post it up, because I've tried to find just that clip.
It's hard.
It's not out. I don't know if it's out there.
It's just such an obscure movie that no one cares, except for a couple knuckleheads like us. That's it. So. What's his name from?
Chris Klein.
No. The guy was in Mad TV. He played he was in it too. Oh, he had the speech impediment, selling magazines.
Oh, crud.
And it turns out he's just a hustler. Or am I getting no? That was in Office Space. He's selling magazines in Office Space.
Yeah,
he plays like a homeless guy or something.
Hello, sir or ma'am.
Yeah.
I am selling magazine subscriptions to help keep myself off of the streets and off of drugs. Orlando Jones.
He's also in As Good as It Gets, too.
For some reason, when you said the guy who's on Mad TV, all I could think of was Will Sasso.
Oh.
But do you know why Will Sasso is in the news right now?
Did he get in trouble?
No, he just... Okay, so him and his one of his partners have a podcast, and they put together a 1-hour George Carlin AI stand-up special. Like, they produced a 1-hour special in the voice of, in the style of writing of George Carlin, called I'm Glad I'm Dead. Well, people are furious about this, that they basically dug up George Carlin, without any of his consent of any of the family or anything. The daughter of George Carlin came out and said she's appalled that they would.
So that's where it's a problem.
And that Carlin
he should have got the family's permission first.
And that Carlin himself would have hated this, essentially.
I don't know if he would have.
I kind of think he would dig it. He'd dig the technology of it, but I don't necessarily think that he'd enjoy not having it.
I'm surprised he didn't predict it, to be honest. The fact that's the only. I want to see it. I'm very wow, that's cool.
Right.
But the party fouls where he should have got the blessing of the family, or at least some kind of consent or something, or work with them throughout the whole process.
Exactly.
Something.
Exactly.
Like they may just want to get paid at the end of the day and making a big stink about it. I don't know what the Carlin estate's worth, but they may just want to get paid. So
that's true too.
But anyway, let me give you the rundown.
Yeah.
Matt Bristol has graciously said, "Rest your voice. I'll come see you on Thursday." He's gonna join us on Thursday here in the 7:00 hour. So today we're gonna replay our interview we had with Charles Eastless and Charles Drake with the Chaffetz County Sheriff's Department. They joined us on Friday. I still sound awful, but those two guys talk most of the time, so it's all good.
There you go.
So we're gonna play that next hour. Elliot Rodriguez with Lone Depot will pop in and. We'll talk. I'll probably use Sean to translate.
Yeah, he likes to talk. Elliot likes to talk. He's fine.
He can just go.
He can fill the hour.
And then
he'll just do a TED Talk.
And then the talking will keep going because in the 9:00 hour, John and Crystal Noble with Roswell Seed will be here. and they'll just start arguing, and I'll sit here
and just kind of guide. Seat in between them, and you can go to the kitchen.
That's right. I'll go grab a hot frosty beverage and
make yourself a nice cup of tea.
That's right. So, but they'll join us, and we'll get an update from them from Roswell Seed on what's going on. Is it Roswell Seed? Yeah, there's Roswell Seed. I was double checking. We're not talking about animals, right? Yeah, no, it's Roswell Seed. So, and then of course we'll do all your features and all that good stuff.
Yes, sir.
And maybe we'll have we'll have to do our own daily record passing of people today, especially for Dallas Cowboys fans. So,
may you rest in peace.
That's right. Congratulations, Packer.
Feels good to wear this hoodie today.
It's 7:16. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We may get a few clouds today. We have a stationary front just off to our east, about 50 on the afternoon high. Then tonight, a few clouds. We do have some cold air moving in from the northern Rockies. Our lows 10 to 15. And then tomorrow we'll get sunshine. It will be quite a bit cooler. Afternoon highs in the upper 30s. We bounce back to the 60s with sunshine on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 14 degrees here in Roswell. Yeah, it's cold. When I was coming this morning, I had my normal coat and everything, and I was like, yeah, normally New Mexico, this is good, but not today, boys. I didn't do it. So, yeah, it's pretty chilly out there. Bundle up as you head out. Humidity is at 49% with winds out of the south at 9 miles per hour. Expect some increasing clouds and a high of 44 today. Yeah, our high is 44. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10. Tonight's going to get a little breezy, mostly cloudy, and gradually clearing with an overnight low of 11 degrees. Winds will be out of the northeast, 15 to 20 miles per hour. So it's going to get a little breezy. And then after midnight, those winds will drop down to 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunny. Our high is only 36 on Tuesday. We're going to get just above freezing. Another freezing cold day. Tuesday night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 19. South winds 5 to 10. For Wednesday, sunny, 63. That's the messed up part. We're going to be 36 on Tuesday. And then we're going to jump into the low to mid 60s on Wednesday. And get this, on Thursday, we're going to be pushing 70. Sunny with 69 for a high, and then it just swaps all back over again on Friday with a high of 47. And then we're going to be floating in the weekend, 47 Saturday, 58 on Sunday. So it's going to get a little roller coastery from the freezing to darn near shorts weather, all in about 3 days. So I guess the rest of you that aren't sick, that'll be sick now. So enjoy your Martin Luther King Jr. Day for all those that get the day off, and rest up because going to get a little squirrely the rest of the week weather-wise here. All right, it is 7:18. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with Charles Eastlis and Charles Drake from the Chaffetz County Sheriff's Department. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A nice January run shaping up for this week. We expect to sell 1,800 head. Breaking down like this: 250, 275 weighing cows and bulls, 250, 300 pairs of bred cows, 1,200, 1,300 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 72 Holstein weigh cows and heifers off one dairy, 98 bred heifers, New Mexico State University Corona, X-quality black and black white face Angus plus heifers bred to calve February the 15th through April, out of low birth weight Cavanese, New Mexico State University Angus bulls. Nice set of bred heifers, fit anybody's country. 21 bred cows, Cross Equal Cattle Company here north of Roswell. X-quality black and black white face Angus crossbred cows bred to Angus bulls. Cows 49 years old. 48 bred cows, Mr. Calvin Brown, Cedarvale, New Mexico. Good quality, 80% black and black white face cows bred to Brangus Charolais bulls. 10 years old. 182 calves, U-Bar Ranch, Gila, New Mexico. X-quality black Angus cross calves, cattle wean 60, 90 days, 2 rounds of shots, 375, 575 pounds. 100 calves, H-Bar Y Ranch, Carlsbad, New Mexico, ex-quality Black Angus and Brangus crossbreds. Cattle weaned 60-plus days, 2 rounds of shots, 450, 650 pounds. 34 heifer calves, Mr. James Ellett, Hope, New Mexico, ex-quality Black Angus and Brangus cross calves. Cattle weaned 30 days, 2 rounds of shots, 375, 475 pounds. 51 calves, Miss Sally Walker Estate, Alamogordo, New Mexico, ex-quality Black Angus and Brangus crossbreds. Cattle weaned, medium condition, 500, 650 pounds. 47 calves, 3 Rivers Cattle Company, Tularosa, New Mexico, ex-quality Black Angus cross calves. 1 round of Bow Shield Gold, 1 shot, 8-way, 450, 550 pounds, and 62 light yearlings, RS Cattle Company, Belen, New Mexico. Good quality crossbred light yearlings, cattle weaned long time, 2 rounds of shots, 500, 700 pounds. Sale time this morning, 9 o'clock. Sell pairs of bred cows 10:30 to 11. Be selling calves and yearlings about 12 to 12:30. We expect to sell 1,800 head here today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Get your tickets now for Red Zone Presents A Night with Jason Witten, coming to Artesia Saturday, April 13th. Jason Witten is an 11-time Pro Bowl selection and 2-time NFL All-Pro with the Dallas Cowboys and is currently head coach at Liberty Christian High School in Argyle, Texas. Jason is one of sports' top leaders on and off the field. Tickets are free, but you must have a ticket to enter. To get your free tickets, contact the Artesia Chamber of Commerce. This invitation courtesy of H.F. Sinclair. Excited about Jason Witten coming to Artesia. The Western Junior College Athletic Conference play is underway for your New Mexico Military Institute Broncos. The Broncos tipped off conference with a home loss to the visiting Howard Hawks Monday and traveled to Levelland, Texas Thursday to face the number 1 South Plains Texans. Your next chance to see the Broncos at home is Monday night, January 15th, when the Frank Phillips College Plainsmen visit the Cahoon Armory. Come out and root for your NMMI Broncos Monday, 6:30 p.m.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters. Pies. Here's Mike Winters.
You don't have a math number for that one. Good morning. It is 16 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Sheriff's Department, it's me, trust me. Give me your money, see? Just kidding. Oh, I got to do this for my wife. Bees. There's a line from a movie that sounds like the guy with the wind. Joining us from the Chaves County Sheriff's Department is Under Sheriff Charles Eastless and Lieutenant Drake with us. Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Hopefully you sound a little better than I do. And
well, I wish my voice would do that. Just stay low, though.
Stay low.
Not so much with all the things that come with it. Though.
Well, if I can make it just come out effortlessly, like it didn't have to push, won't be so bad. Because I think I could attract a certain level of people with this voice.
That's your Wolfman Jack voice.
Yeah. So, but first off, how's the department doing? You guys keep busy? I know.
Doing very well.
No rest for you guys ever, so.
Not at all. We're doing very well. We're getting geared up for legislation coming up. The sheriff and I will be up there next week. But as far as the department goes with the holidays, everything went over without a hitch. You know, we did have the normal calls as usual, but it seemed like this year it for some reason it just wasn't as busy. It wasn't as I don't want to use the word festive, but it just wasn't quite. It seemed more
low-key.
Business. It was very low key. It seemed more business. Knock on wood, exactly as usual.
Knock on wood. Low key is okay with me,
right.
You know.
Yeah. So it came and went, and it was. I think the weather has a lot to do with that. It didn't really, when it's 60 degrees on Christmas, it doesn't really feel like it. Looks like we're getting the brunt of it now. But
I say now, maybe we'll start putting up Christmas trees, and then we'll see if things go up a tick. Now there we go.
We're not wishing for anything,
right? But now the weather's starting to match the season. But as far as that legislative side goes, I mean, obviously yourself and the sheriff, this is where you guys kind of change your hats a little bit, where your day-to-day of, hey, talking to the public, doing, because by the way, the sheriff and the undersheriff, they're working shifts too. It's not like they sit in the office all day and say,
right.
Give me coffee and give me my stack of I-19 whatever's to fill out. They're out there in the public, engaged. But this next month, you're going to probably between the two of you guys are going to take a much less role there. Kind of talk about how your hat changes when we do flip to this legislative session.
When we'll leave this next week, and when that happens, we're following a lot of different bills right now. Some of them are additional gun bills, things like that. There are some things in legislation right now, some other laws that they're wanting to pass that we're really scrutinizing and taking a close look at. So we're in and out of Roswell pretty regularly during the session. I have this is my administrative lieutenant, and so he unfortunately catches where I am with the sheriff, he is with me, and so it just kind of filters down, and he's tall enough that he catches it. Unfortunately, so
you're kind of assigned to serve as almost kind of the under sheriff while they're up in Santa Fe, so to speak.
Yes.
Gotcha. So is that like, because as an lieutenant, you've already got a full workload of your own duties and things like that. How much does that, is it just a matter of everyone picks up slack kind of thing? Or?
Yeah, it just kind of adds a little bit more fire to the campfire. So
Sure. And I'm going to guess this is where you want to work with your younger deputies. And you're like, okay, guys, we're always here to mentor and do our thing, but this is the time where you got to put on your A game,
right?
Because we may not be there to kind of negotiate your way through some of these sticky wickets sometimes.
Exactly.
And we got a good group of guys, so as far as managing them, it's minimal, so I can focus on all the paperwork and all that stuff that we got to get done.
Sure. Now, do you guys get a lot of seat time with legislators, really kind of bending ears, or is it more schmoozy kind of stuff?
It's more passing. In passing, in the past we have had some actually sit down time. We go up and we have one of our meetings, which is the Sheriff's Association, New Mexico Sheriff's Association, and then of course this is New Mexico counties, 33 counties strong, and so we have different classes, different meetings that we go to, but as far as one-on-one with the legislators, we don't. There's very little time that our schedules mesh. And a lot of times,
especially in a 30-day message,
right? The 30-day goes quick. It's like lightning, and so we're trying to keep up with everything. That's a chore in itself, and then we're trying to stay up as late as possible because some of these bills are heard, at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's really it's a cat and mouse game, to be very honest with you. We lost some folks that were instrumental for us up in that area, but we have people like Greg Nybert and
kind of shifting
Ken
positions here a little bit,
things like that. People like that are 100% behind us, and we're 100% behind them, and so it allows us to focus on that. And it's something that my job as the undersheriff is to run the day-to-day operations, so I oversee everything, and it allows me to give that to him and the other lieutenants, and I have full faith in them. If I didn't, they wouldn't be lieutenants. And there comes a time when you have to say, here you go, I have full faith in you. And it's happened to all of us where, hey, I want you to do this. Oh, okay, let me, and it's out of habit. We want to put our hands in and continue to do it.
Sure.
But we have to just let it go and let it be. And
when you guys get to that level,
sure,
as lieutenant, as undersheriff, you still love the day-to-day of the job, but
absolutely,
but you also start getting this mentor role in this. Right. You're grooming the next generation of you guys.
Yes.
And so that that takes a bigger meaning to you.
Right.
For you guys especially, and so when everything that happens to these guys, you take it as that affects me because these are my people.
Sure. And in this job, in this business, it's a very different business in that if something happens to one of us, we're going to grieve you today. We're going to grieve you the day that of the departure or the funeral or whatnot. But the business has to go on.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens is I want everybody cross-trained. I want everybody cross-trained. I as the undersheriff running the day-to-day operations, I've worked every area within the sheriff's office. So I have experience in all those different areas. So I can run those. I can step in and run those and oversee them as I do. Well, the same with the lieutenants. I want each lieutenant to work each other's jobs, which they do, and everybody's cross-trained so that the business continues. Because,
Sure.
Like I said, unfortunately, if something happened to me today, the business has to continue tomorrow. That's the business that we're in.
Well, exactly. This is when we talk about that line and the sand and the
That's right.
thin blue line is, look, your bakery, no one shows up. Worst case worse is no clothes, no buttons today.
Right.
At law enforcement.
Sure.
People die. People, things happen. So something has to happen.
Sure.
If the person that normally doesn't isn't there to do that.
Right.
So.
Or if they get sick or something like that, that's where you see the lieutenants and I out doing patrol and taking calls and things like that. And the sheriff as well, because the job is and our goal is the service of the public. And the one thing that I don't want to happen is I don't want the public to suffer because we are suffering. And what I mean by that is if we are shorthanded, we will find the means to serve the public. We have, that's our first and foremost.
Sure.
Is the paperwork. I understand the paperwork side, obviously, and there's a lot of paperwork that I have to do, but it's never too much if somebody comes in and says, hey, I need to speak to you for a minute. I'm not signing, the nuclear release of weapons,
right.
or anything like that.
Absolutely.
It's nothing that I can't set aside and talk to them and give them the time.
Give them 10 minutes or
sure.
whatever. Yeah.
It's, that's what we strive to teach the younger generation
Sure.
and pass on to our younger generation that we have.
And that's part of the psychology of being a law enforcement officer. Right. And this is something I wish we taught all humans in class and things like that. It's, when you guys are out doing your job and you come in, because let's face it, 99.9% of the time when you roll up on a situation, there's people heightened state, emotionally charged up. It's just, some handle it better than others, but everyone's up there.
Adrenaline is usually going.
Yeah. And so sometimes you guys walking in and just let them pop off, blow some little steam, keep them from hurting, obviously, but just let them vent. And once that happens, you start talking to them rationally, and we've worked this out. And that's kind of what not to that same level, but from the other side too, that's using that same technique, that same mindset. And I wish if all humans had that a little bit, you guys probably wouldn't be so busy.
One of the things, some people we're a people person job. And some people are public speakers and some are not. Some are very good at one-on-one speaking. Some aren't very good at any speaking.
Right.
But one of the things that I push and that he's real good at, and all the department as far as that's concerned, is public speaking. I believe they should spend as much time learning or public speaking or learning how to speak as they do the tactics. And the reason for that is getting to my age, we all want to run and gun and do all the fun stuff and everything. And now I would much rather talk about it and instead of eat some ibuprofen for the next 2 weeks. And, it's no longer it becomes use the stronger muscle.
I can't speak for the female brain all the time, but I can speak for the male brain.
That's why women live longer than men.
And we hit my beer moment. All of us hit those. And in law enforcement, it's like, I can do that Herculean fence climb, no problem, or whatever it is.
And when we're teaching this younger generation, it's kind of like, and I don't mean this in any way, but it's kind of like teaching a younger child in that, don't touch that, it's hot. Don't touch that, it's hot.
Right.
Okay, go ahead. See, it's hot. So, sometimes that has to happen. Well, the same holds true with when we tell them, when they say, well, why can't we do that? Listen, I've been there, I understand, but you can't do that. Well, I don't know. Listen, you see that policy? That policy, I was part of the creation of that policy, or whatever the case may be. So therefore, you can't do that.
Sure.
You know, we're speaking from experience, and we're trying to navigate them into a stream of less punishment or less hurt,
sure,
and things like that.
Well, this is
and more
that
success.
And this is that old teaching young, universal thing where when we're young, and we get young people weak because we were all you once.
Sure.
And we know the mindset. We know that, yes, you feel indestructible. You feel, I got this. I'm in control. But you can't always see the forest from the trees.
Right.
And with wisdom, you start seeing the forest when you're in the tree. You've been in the long enough to know what trees are there.
Right.
And that's what we try to tell you, and it's really hard for you to understand that from your perspective. You're going to have to run through the woods sometimes and then figure it out. But we just want to warn you, hey, before you get really big,
there's a cliff on that other side.
take a walk, don't run through the woods, and let's, be careful for booby traps.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of, in a nutshell, what the big life lesson that we tell our, old versus young here, you know. And so it's no different in
we're
your...
a paramilitary style organization.
Yeah.
We're teaching the person behind us to pick up our slack and pick up our gear and continue forward.
Sure.
And that's the goal.
Well, and then when you guys get in the line of work that you do, it takes a certain mental mindset to do that. And when you find individuals that can handle that and navigate that, you want to foster and garnish that, because let's face it, I'm going to say a majority of our population probably are not cut out to be law enforcement officials. That's just...
Or teachers, or, everyone has their forte.
Yeah. But those that do, that have the heart, that have the ability to compartmentalize dark from light and stay clear in the moment, that is a gift that humans that possess it, we want to foster that, because they truly make the best in what law enforcement people do. And that's what we want with a perfect law enforcement
I'd
person.
much rather do this side than I'll tell you who in my opinion is probation and parole. They have to deal with, when we deal with the criminal element, we deal with them, we arrest them, put them in jail, and through the system they go. When they get out and they're on probation or parole, that's a rough job, because they're and I'm not going to use the term babysit, because they're adults, and I'm not diminishing anything they do. I'm giving them full compliment, because that's something that I just wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to follow this person around and make sure that they're stop doing that, be where you're supposed to be, come here. It's exhausting.
Well, we're all put on this earth. We're all raised a certain way, based on where we're born, where we're cultured, with our family. We all come from, and
right.
So when we grow up, we're kind of in our lanes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And when you get into a profession like yourself, where you're seeing everybody outside your lane, and then you realize, wow, some people's lanes are way different than my lane. Yeah. And so it's hard to process, especially when you're like, I have no concept of what this person's doing, because that just doesn't seem, some of the heinous stuff side, but because of their life and what they've seen, experience, and that's where you guys have to have that ability to take that, and that's why
take what you need and take what you don't.
And that's why, quite frankly, I think what you guys have is the hardest in the world.
It's a renaissance.
You've got to be that calm mind in a sea of hot garbage and mess. And
be a police officer, be a counselor, be a
and no matter how right you do it, someone's going to say you didn't do it right.
You're always going to, exactly, and you can't always make everyone happy. And the goal, this is what I tell people: the goal is not to make everybody happy. The goal is to make everybody safe and make sure that everything is okay. Not everybody's going to be okay with the outcome, as long as everyone is alive, safe, no injuries, things like that. You know, you can't give two people first place. You know, this isn't the Ricky Bobby world where if you ain't first, you're last. You know, there has to be, in checkers, there has to be, for example, someone wins and someone loses.
Yeah.
Well, it may not be the outcome, but a lot of times it's give and take. And so we find ourselves becoming mediators. Mediators.
It's space peanut.
Here we are. We're running through space. But, you know, we find ourselves being mediators and counselors and things like that. And it's, you know, when we make a decision, especially at this level, when we make a decision, there are people that just get in an uproar real fast when we put pen to paper. And without allowing us the time to explain, this is why, because there are liabilities on this side, or there's this going on, or this is the big picture down at the end.
Yeah.
And
you only see what's in your lane.
Right. They immediately they did this or this decision was made and it's personal. No, it's not. It's, you know, you have to look at the totality of everything around it, whether it's liability, no matter what it is.
Well, at the end of the day, your job is to preserve and protect the public. Everyone is the public.
That's right.
Like you said, it's not win or loss. To be honest, in your world, in this world, win losses is, did everybody live tonight? Right. Did everybody go home tonight? That's right. Yeah, we may have had a fight, but is everybody still?
Upset, but they went home.
And you know what? Time will heal the other things. Sure. Tonight, everybody lived. That's a victory. Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's how you guys live, and that's your world. And yeah, someone may have spent the night in jail. Someone may have had to sleep one off in the tank. Someone may have had to get sent to their mom's house. Yeah. Whatever that is, so be it. But those feelings will get over. We can work that out. Everyone gets to wake up tomorrow and decide what they want to have for breakfast.
That's right.
You know, that's the end game here for you guys. You know, and that's
what we tell most people that we deal with. We're like, separate. I know tempers are high right now. But tomorrow, it's a new day.
Yeah.
And most of the time, know how to go back.
You know, it's one thing if we're dealing with black and white laws that say, okay, you broke into this, you stole this, you violated this, we arrest you for this.
The letter of the law.
Yeah, that's the simple part of being a police officer. Yeah. It's when you have to fight at 2 a.m, where technically no one's broken a law other than being mad at each other. But when they get to the point where they're so mad they're punching, and that's when the laws are being broken. Right. That's where your guys, like, we're just trying to get everybody to not break a law right now. And, you know, you guys are at that point not cops, but your counselors, your referees, your people that are just trying to keep everybody from not going complete chaos. And then you sort out the aftermath afterwards. And that's the part that if we can get the public to understand is, look, I know they're going to go crazy, but for the rest of us, help the officers be a part of the de-escalation process.
And that's what most of our situations we go to. Yeah, we may take some people to jail, but most of the time we show up and we talk to both parties. Just talking to them, it resolves it.
Sure.
So,
allowing them to vent. And when we're teaching these I call them kids because they're less than half my age, and they make me feel my age when we hire. You know, whenever I have an applicant whose birth date is further than when I graduated, you know, I sit there and I have my old moment, and then all of a sudden everything hurts for a second. My feelings, my back, you know, everything, and I'm like, I'm getting old. But what we're trying to teach them, and I give them we teach them what the letter of the law is and the spirit of the law.
Right.
And so I use a little story. I tell them, okay, I want you to imagine a lake, and there's a fence around it, and on that fence says absolutely no trespassing. And along comes somebody, a teenager or whatever the case may be, and sees a little kid in there drowning. No, for however the child got in there, it doesn't matter. This person jumps the fence. Do they follow what that says and allow that person to drown, or do they jump the fence and save them? I said, that's where your spirit of the law comes in. I said, yes, you technically broke the letter of the law, but why did you do it? It's kind of like not having your registration on the vehicle. If you're behind on your job or something, or you're about to start a new job, and I give you a citation for, $200 or $300, my goal is to get you to register your vehicle. It's not to give you a citation. So maybe that's the time when I say park it. This one,
sure.
I'm gonna let slide. I'm gonna watch the vehicle for a while. I'm gonna come back and check with you in a couple weeks or whatnot, and make sure that it's registered. The end goal is what we're, it right then may not be what everybody wants,
right?
But you have to look. You have your. It's just like short term, long term, and your medium term goals. We have to look further down. We have to look in terms of years now. What's the department going to be when we're all gone? And I mean gone off this earth. Where do we want to leave? It's not about leaving a picture on the wall.
Sure.
It's about leaving something that betters the department.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's about.
Well, it's kind of getting back to, the role of your, it's, you have this job where you got to carry a big stick.
You do.
But you got to carry a big blanket too.
That's right.
And that's it. And that's where
for the SWATs and the pillow
like,
and the.
Is it time for the stick? Is it time for the blanket? And that's what makes your job. So, but that's what makes it. I'm going to say it's probably the most rewarding part, because I'm going to guess, because you guys.
You see it all come together.
Yeah, but then there's the night where the baby was born in the car, or the lost child was found, or the the winning moment. That's
when it doesn't end in tragedy.
Yeah, and so that's where the job is a beautiful thing, and that's why there's a certain breed that can do this job. But I always want to encourage the people that have that desire to embrace it and run with it, because quite frankly, you guys are, and this is globally, this isn't just here in Chaffetz County, law enforcement numbers are down.
They are.
We need the next generations of people to
There's
be.
not one department that is full that I'm aware of.
Yeah. And so we need those carers, those givers to learn, and to be honest, to be the next generation to help you guys do it better, to help you guys understand more as our doctors, and that start picking out our melons a little bit better here. Then you guys can adapt and change your trainings to match what they're learning.
Our goal is to build that foundation. Now the younger generation, they can build whatever structure, they're building all kinds of weird looking things nowadays, so to speak, in terms of analogies. We're just the old-fashioned foundation builders, and that's what we're trying to do: build a good foundation so that the younger generation, when they come along, they can build whatever they're going to build on it, but the foundation is strong enough to hold it, and that's the goal. And this is my 24th year in law enforcement, and I've wanted to do nothing but this job my whole life. I didn't want to do anything else. My dad was an educator, a principal, and he wanted me to be a teacher or a coach. He said, "You're off by 3:00. You wear shorts to work. It's a great job." And I said, and there's days when I think to myself, gosh, I could have kicked the ball around with kids.
I bet there's a 2 a.m. You're like, I could be in them bike shorts right now.
Yeah. But and I'm dating myself now as far as age, from the Ponch and John and the Andy Griffith days and all those. I've wanted to be a police officer my whole life. And I'm very fortunate in that I knew what I wanted to do, and I chased that, and I achieved that. A lot of people, they don't get that opportunity, and so I'm very fortunate, and I embrace it. And we all do dumb things, We have that rookie moment, and then we have that uh-oh moment, and then you have that aha moment, where you start to what I call graduate out of being doing dumb things and decisions, and you get into the adult. And then you get into what I would say my level is, oh Lord. And what I mean by that is when I go home at night, all my goal, I just want every one of my guys to go home.
Yeah.
I tell them, I say, I don't ever want to show up at your house and tell them you're not coming back.
Yeah, you don't want to knock on doors to talk to spouses. That's yeah.
And so it's And that is pushed down through the lieutenants. Lieutenants push it down through the sergeants. Sergeants enforce it. But I'll tell you, I couldn't do this job without him doing this job, and there's not a one person on this team.
Sure.
It's you have the faces of the department, but it's a department. It is and
what you guys do rubs off on the younger deputies here, and kind of when you were talking about you couldn't picture yourself doing anything else, and just from my own seeing of you and the sheriff and how you interact when you're just Charles and Mike.
I'm always just Charles.
You know what I mean?
That's what I tell people, yeah.
And that's what I think also makes you guys, and I'm sure with you guys as well, good law enforcement officers, because I've seen it. Now I get it sometimes at this level. People are like, it's the sheriff, it's the undersheriff. I want to talk to them because there's where the buck stops.
Right.
But before those titles were upon you guys, and before all of that, people just talk to you.
Sure.
Like you're wearing the badge, you're wearing the uniform, you're sitting at Starbucks, you're sitting in McDonald's, you're sitting at the fair, wherever. Right. And people, all walks of life, homeless to county commissioners and the most influential of the county.
Sure.
Are just, hey Charles, hey Mike, I got, and I think that's the ability that what makes you guys and the, you know what I mean, to say, okay, that's how we solve the problems. Like, this is why this didn't de-escalate, because right. Charles or one of your lieutenants has sat there and just talked with people like we're hanging out in a guy's living room. Sure. And that's...
Slow it down a little bit.
You don't realize how much disaster can be diverted from just a simple, hey, bud, how you doing?
Exactly.
And that's... and that's
we're
what
human just like them.
Sure.
Yeah. And when people see that from you guys, I think it takes them aback. They're like, oh, crap, they got problems too.
Sure.
Dang, all right, hold on.
And I tell people all the time, they say, hey, undersheriff. I said, no, I'm Charles. And they say, well, you're the undersheriff. I said, that's what I do. I said, that's my responsibility. That doesn't define who I am.
Yeah.
Titles come and go. You will always. This is what I teach the younger generation. You will always be you. Titles don't make you you. You make that title what that title is. The title doesn't define you. And you see in all areas of business, in different types of careers, where without that title, people just don't know what to do.
Right.
They fall apart, or they just once they're done with that. You make the title what it is. The title does not define who you are. I'm Charles. When they come in and they sit down, they say, hey, undersheriff, I said, please call me Charles. Tell me what's going on. Because they are a friend to me. I may have just met them, but they're going to leave. I want them to leave an acquaintance, a friend.
Sure.
Not, I understand this is business.
Not intimidated or
right.
feeling
but
you're stop-owed or something. Yeah.
Sure, but
I have to say I'm Charles number 2. So
yeah, and our other lieutenant, his middle name is Charles, and so I just have to remind them that the Charles in charge is not really. they like to watch Charles in charge, and they're like, hey, and I said, no, turn it off.
You can call Lieutenant Bayo.
Yeah. But it's important, and I'm very proud of everybody in the department. Everybody has a responsibility and a duty, and without all those getting done, they know that they know what the title is.
Absolutely.
But they also know what the job is. And sometimes it's time to put on that hat and do the job. And then sometimes it's time to present the title. But the title is only what you make it out to be. It doesn't define who you are.
But I think, and what you're right, but also it gives the title the credence.
Right.
Whereas, yes, it's, you're the position president. And so you say, okay, president, that's supposed to garner a certain amount of respect. But we all know as much as anybody else, we respect the person that puts the title,
react to that
that
title
puts their passion in it. Yeah.
And so if they say, hey, you know what, we're going to have a talk today, by the undersheriff's going to do a talk, or Lieutenant Drake's going to do a talk, I would much rather, and I hope that they're like, oh, cool, great, I know him, or yeah, he's funny, or whatever the case may be. You've made that title what it is, or you've made that title, oh crap.
Sure.
We're going to listen to this guy and this guy. So whatever that title is, you define the title. And that's what I explained to them. The title doesn't define you. You define that title. And you either what do you want people to do when they hear that you're coming? Not see you coming, but they hear that you're coming. Do you want them to be excited and welcoming, or do you want them to be cringing and
cockroaches?
Exactly, yeah. And so
turn the lights on, scatter.
How they react to that is on you,
right?
And what you put into it. And it's just, if I tell them in the interviews, if you're not a people person, I thank you for coming in. This probably isn't the job for you. Thank you for being honest. But if you're a people person, it makes this job so much better.
Absolutely.
And it's just, it's about people. I would, there's times when everybody gets upset and says, oh man, I could definitely be the last man on earth, and all this other stuff. But the reality is I'd be talking to the trees. I'd be losing my mind.
It would be fun for about 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
And then it'd get old real quick, I saw the TV show, and that's about what happened.
Too, yeah.
In the TV show, too, about 5 days
look at
in.
all this money I have. There's nowhere to spend it.
Yeah, but there's only so many movies to watch.
That's right.
The food's going to go bad after a while, and you got to actually do stuff.
Watching the same DVD over and over.
Someone's got to clean the pool. But yeah, you're right. And so that being said, how are we doing on him? Are we looking for more recruits? Are we taking new names and applications?
We're always looking for recruits. If anybody's interested, you can go to Chaves County website and you can apply online. You can apply on Indeed. You can call 624-6500 and we can direct you in the direction that you need to go. But we take applications all year round. There isn't any specific time of the year that we take applications.
And you're always preparing them.
We're always preparing.
They have X amount of academies a year that they send cadets to complete the program. But throughout the entire year, you guys are working with the people that are hoping to become applicants.
Academy.
Yeah, so whether you need help physically getting ready or for the book learning side of it, you guys, by the time you get to the academy, you're going to be well groomed and versed on what they're expecting from you and what you need to do. So they will work with you here, whether it's to put the miles on the track or on the computer. That's what they do, and they get you ready. And because let's face it, it costs a lot of money to train a person, to send them to the academy and bring them back and put them on the streets here to protect and serve. They don't want to send people that they think aren't going to cut it, because at the end of the day, money makes the world go around, and no dollars, no donuts. So
no dollars, no cents.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
so
it's on average it costs me between $6,000 and $10,000 before somebody hits the street by themselves. That doesn't include putting them in a $50,000-$60,000 vehicle on top of that, and all this equipment and everything. So there's a lot to it. It does take some time to get to that point, but we welcome everyone to apply, and then we'll go through it from there.
But that's what the great part about it is. I think by the time you're ready for the academy, you're going to have a full understanding of what you're ready to do and how much you because so if that point you're like, dude, I am ready to go to the academy, then we're like, I think we just found our next deputy for the Chaves County Sheriff's
And
Department.
the academy teaches them the letter of the law. When they get out, they have about 3.5 months of FTO. That will teach them the spirit of the law.
That's where you sit down with the deputies and say, okay, this is the letter of law. This is where you got to know when to apply it and when to give a hug.
Right. And they will never encounter the same situation. Our day-to-days, you never know what situation. I've been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah.
Same call, always different.
Yeah. But the one thing what happens with the experience and things is you guys give them beats. They work parts of the county.
Right.
And so it's in essence their neighborhood, their area.
Sure.
So with that, they build a familiarity with the clientele, the people, the regulars, the frequent flyers, people that are that's their day-to-day okay, so when you see a certain set of homeless in the alley, you're like, that's just their normal hangout. This is what they do. There's nothing going on. We just check in, make sure everybody's healthy and safe,
Right.
And then we go on, or no, that is a notorious drug dealing spot. Certain individuals there, you learn that stuff. And and that's what makes them better deputies, is because they start talking to the neighbors. They hear the stories, the good parts, the complaints,
they learn the area.
Everything. They learn who's the shadies, who's the ones nosy on the shadies, and all of that kind of stuff. And
That's right. Yeah, 100%.
And all of that is, and good officers. And that's where it comes back to being Charles and Chuck and Lieutenant Payo and being that guy and just walking in and saying, how you doing?
I believe that my stance is, the higher you get in rank, the more available you should become to the public. And we see oftentimes as people move up in rank in departments or offices or whatever the case may be, now they have a secretary or they have an assistant, or they that cuts people off, or sometimes a lieutenant or a captain, or all these things. But my opinion is the higher that you get up in rank, the more availability you should have to the public, because you have people doing those jobs that you were tasked to do. So now your time should be spent being available for those phone calls, being available. And I know I'm one of the world's worst. I know I'm very busy. And to anybody who's listening that I haven't called back, I apologize. I will. But there shouldn't be all these roadblocks. It should be, sure. You should be able to talk to the boss.
Absolutely.
And that's what's important.
That's the nature of the position versus, and that's the balls we all have to juggle.
We're not there to hide in the back and collect a paycheck and run things from behind the scenes. We're responsible for that. And so therefore we should be held responsible and answer responsibly out into the front.
And then sometimes people just have questions that no one can really answer until they get to the levels where you're at. The deputy be like, I can't answer that. That's 7 pay grades above me for a answer.
I don't know the answer, but I don't want that job.
Well, that's true. But, guys, is there anything that you want to mention that we just got way sidetracked on?
We're going to be running, as usual, we're going to be running roadblocks. We're going to be doing traffic enforcement. We're reminding everybody schools are back in session now, obviously, from the holidays. Pay attention to the school zones. Pay attention to the buses, the children.
It's bad weather conditions.
Yes. We're proud to say that our SRO is back. We have an SRO in the schools, back in the schools now.
Great.
We're looking at putting a second one. Where eventually, we have a lot of end goals, long-term goals. A third K9, possibly another 1 or 2 SROs. We have a lot of plans that we'd like to see come to fruition and that we're working on. So
hopefully our legislators can help shake the tree here in the next 30 days and get some money to come down. So,
I hope so.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Absolutely. Well, as always, we appreciate you having us. And if you know of a crime that's been committed or you have information, you can call and remain anonymous, 624-6500. If you're wanting to apply, 624-6500.
Don't you guys have a website, too? They can read the application.
Absolutely.
Is it just the Chaves County website?
Go to the Chaves County website.
.gov. And go into the Sheriff's Department
under the Sheriff's office.
And then you can go right there.
That's right.
Or you can always walk in
That's
and talk to one of the front desk, or someone can get as much information to you as possible there if you prefer to do face-to-face stuff.
Absolutely.
So, thank you, guys. Stay safe. Tell all
your voice
we'll
back.
get there, and maybe and sorry, ladies, I'm not single, so this is doing something for you. Sorry.
There's the Barry White.
Wolfman White, Barry.
Yes, there you
Barry
go.
Jack.
Yeah.
But,
hey there, hi there.
But you guys, thank you for all you do. Stay
Thank
safe.
you for having us.
And tell all your brothers and sisters that we're praying for them and
Absolutely.
And thankful for their service.
Thank you for your support.
Good deal. It is 8:57. Let's do some news before more news. Don't go away.
Now for
checking whether Microsoft's investment in OpenAI might be reviewable under regulations covering mergers and acquisitions that would harm competition in the 27-nation bloc. The review could lead to a formal investigation into whether the deal should be unconditionally cleared, allowed with concessions from the companies, or blocked.
That is Jeremy House. More of these stories at townhall.com.
in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
Your SRN program.
Good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. I said 8 o'clock.
I said what I said.
Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
I figure we could use a little bit of soprano.
Yeah, I got that.
Yep.
Is it? Oh, nope.
I do want to see if I can get you just to do the whoa. For the, you know how there's that guy in the background? Boom, 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 boom,
Pop, ow. Hellfire Rocket, maybe Alabama.
Giddy up.
Yeah. Pop, wow. It's still a little rough.
Yeah.
Nope. That whoa stuff ain't happening.
Not the woes.
Turns into whoa.
I got to tell you, I literally did not think about tea until you mentioned bringing some in for Friday.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, tea. That's going to make me feel better. So this whole weekend has basically been, because I haven't had really an appetite at all.
I don't either.
It's basically a series of, I get hungry, I would go get something to eat, have like a bite or two of it, and be like, I don't really want this.
That's been my wife and I's story of the last week and 2 weeks here.
So through the course of this weekend, I bought like 4 different kinds of tea. I've also descaled my coffee maker just to make sure that everything was like good to go. And I've just been living on tea, lemon, honey. I got Emergency. I've been, basically down in a packet of that every day.
Yeah.
It was just short bursts of get up and do 1 or 2 things, and then I'm out again.
Yeah, I'm a little teed out. I'm not going to lie. I've been drinking a lot. I probably should fire up a cup. I'm not a hot beverage drinker that often.
I just figured out the warm hits the sinuses, which is really where I'm feeling most of mine. That just helps.
Yeah. Mine's kind of not here anymore. It's just there. So but anyway, happy Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. holiday.
Yes.
For those enjoying the day off today. Make time to, I always say it, just like Memorial Day and all our other days off that we get are kind of like, a day off just for remember the reason for the day and celebrating why we celebrate today. Just always take that few minutes to do that. So.
Absolutely.
But but for the rest of you, enjoy your day off, kids. I know my wife's thankful for the day off today. She needed it. So.
Oh, I imagine, because she's been going even despite all this, right?
Pretty much. She's and she's at the point now where she feels like she's like the appetite and some of that stuff that still is lingering. And I don't know, it kind of stinks because I get hungry and I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
Right.
And then, like you said, I'll eat like a half of something or other, and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah. I have like a half-eaten Whataburger at my house. I have part of a personal pizza.
On Saturday, Kim and I went to Artesia because I had to board up some basketball games. And so we were kind of, wanting to get something to eat on the way back or whatever. So we stopped for dinner and ate at Martine's for dinner.
Oh, really?
And I wasn't feeling Mexican food per se. I was like, I don't want burritos. I just want something not spicy.
Sure.
Kind of. So I end up getting their club sandwich.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever had their club sandwich.
I had theirs.
But it's pretty good. It's got ham and bacon and lettuce, tomato, all that stuff. But it comes in, it's a club, so they stack them like the little club 4 sections. So I think at the end of the day, it's probably 2 sandwiches when you hold out all the bread and everything. I literally ate that all night. Like I ate one section at the restaurant, took the rest home, and then every couple hours, I just, I think I'm getting hungry, and I'd eat a section. No, I'm not hungry anymore. So I literally made a 4-hour event out of eating a club sandwich on Saturday.
Yeah. I'm gonna pay for it too. I'm gonna drop like 5 or 6 pounds. I know that's a terrible thing to complain. Oh, I'm gonna lose weight. Problem is, I'm barely holding on to these clothes as it is. All right.
No, that's a plus. I don't think I'm losing weight, but I don't feel so fat. So, but yeah, ladies.
Yes, ladies. Also, it is Blue Monday. Blue Monday.
Like sad or the color blue?
Sad Monday. Statistically speaking, today is the most depressing day of the whole year. Statistically speaking, for a number of reasons. We're far enough away from the holidays that we're not enjoying the festive mood anymore. We've given up on our New Year's resolutions. We're probably dealing with debt we incurred over the holiday season. Mondays just suck in general. Okay. There's a lot of different factors that go into why we're sad.
It's always around this time.
It's the third Monday of every year.
I have another prediction. I think there's enough Dallas Cowboys fans.
That's another one, yeah. Good point.
In the entire nation.
Oh.
And they do this every single year around this time where they storm into the playoffs and choke out the first round every year. And so I'm going to argue that maybe there's just enough Cowboys fans that Mondays after the playoff loss, they all are sad. So it truly is a Blue Monday.
Some statistician was actually just a Cowboys fan.
I'm going to call it Cowboy Blue Monday.
Weedham Blues Monday.
Sorry, this is all I got, Cowboys fans.
You wasn't them boys last night, was you?
Although,
God, I got to tell you, though, more than us winning, them losing makes me so happy. Just the memes that were coming off it, the anger, the guy who like kicked a tree. He was like outside. He kicked a pine tree because he was so mad his team lost.
I've seen a couple of those. I saw like a Cowboys fan, like he had a flag on his front yard, and he went out, trashed it, and threw it in the bushes. And yeah, I've seen that guy. I've seen I haven't seen any TV smashings, new ones, the old ones. I've only seen one Brokeback Mountain reference, which surprises me. I figured there'd be a lot more of those out today, but I guess we're getting far enough away from that movie. People are not using that to slam the Cowboys every time the Cowboys do something that they like to slam about.
But it's just, so yeah.
Now,
it's a day of sadness.
To be honest, in my football world, it was a good week.
Mine too, turns out.
All of a sudden Jordan Love's like, hey, this guy might be good. Hey, the Packers might have known what they're talking about with this guy. Maybe they did a thing by moving on from Aaron Rodgers. Where to be at right now with Aaron.
Turns out we did know how to quit him. There's your Brokeback Mountain reference.
But the love came in quick, literally and figuratively. But so Washington made some big moves. Now that this is where they win the Super Bowl, because this is, under the Dan Snyder, this is our Super Bowl season.
Right.
Because they'll sign the biggest, splashiest name that will completely fleece the team and not produce anything. All that's over now. And I think we've made a first steps in the direction this weekend. They hired their football operations guy, and he's the assistant GM with the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
He was with the Denver Broncos under Shanahan when he won the Super Bowl. He was under Belichick when they won a Super Bowl with the Patriots. He's been with the 49ers since 2017. He's helped build them to where they're at now, and they're favorites to win the Super Bowl. Wow. They're top seed in the NFC for a Super Bowl. everyone's circling this was the top choice, and most people were thinking he wouldn't leave San Fran because he'd be the heir apparent there. But apparently Josh Harris, the new owner, they signed him and got him.
Wow.
A couple days before that, they signed this guy for some kind of consulting operations. He's like he was like the Golden State Warriors GM in the NBA, and he's like, they say he's a good, not for his knowledge of football because he's a basketball guy, but because his organizational knowledge, they're using him for building all of that culture and stuff. And then they got this guy for football. Our old GM is still technically hired, Martin Mayhew. He used to work with this guy, so he's going to determine if Mayhew stays with us or so from there, and then he'll select a new coach. So we just basically hired the guy that's going to decide whether this team's going to be good or suck for the next.
It's just proof of the point. You got to get the people who know what they're doing in the right positions, and you will see a difference.
Yeah.
Case in point, I had a lot of time this weekend to just kind of like watch YouTube videos and stuff. So I sort of did some research into the whole Stanley Cup craze. And I think
not the hockey trophy.
Not the hockey trophy.
But the actual cup by Stanley.
I guess Stanley Tumbler
there you
craze. Go. And I think I know what happened. So basically, the guy who came in as the new CEO of the Stanley, and it's apparently completely separate from the Tools Corporation. Like they
Cup
share the
division's not part of the Tool division.
It's a different division or whatever. But the CEO of the Stanley Tumbler side of things is the former CEO of Crocs. Now, let me tell you why that's a big deal. Because Crocs, yes, used to be the laughingstock. If you go back and watch Idiocracy, specifically Mike Judge picked those shoes out because he thought they looked like something goofy future people would wear. And they were the laughingstock from everybody. But now, Crocs is a huge thing with the young people. They all have Crocs because you can accessorize them, you can make them your own. And the way he did it was he had big names, big labels, or big people like be seen with them out in public, talk about it. And essentially he changed their entire demographic. Like they were going after, the nursing category.
Right.
Then they started going after young people and it blew up.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think Crocs is one of those things that old people love them. Young people love them. It's the people like us in the middle that completely despise them because we've grown up in life to know what kind of ridiculous thing is that on your feet, especially these new. I saw some Crocs in the mall in the display case. It looked like you're putting pineapple on your feet.
Right.
Literal pineapples on your feet.
And a lot of cases they are because they put, little pendants and jewels and stuff. Like Post Malone's look ridiculous.
Right.
But I think a big part of it, though, is you're a Gen Xer.
I am.
Here's the thing. It's very hard to be both disaffected and comfortable. So I don't think that it's something that your generation could get behind.
Right.
I want to get some, but that's, again, me being, hello, fellow young people. It's me doing that role because I've always tried to, when I was in Oklahoma over the break, my niece, I was trying to, play all my cool songs so that my niece would, think I'm a cool uncle or whatever. And we get back to the house and she goes, "You have a very special style of music." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what it's called? Father of two who's desperately trying to hold on to his youth. That's what that's called."
You use the term special like that.
Special, yeah.
It's never a compliment.
I know. I was like,
never.
That's like telling somebody you look comfortable.
Yes. Yeah, that's never a compliment. So our guest, Elia Rodriguez, is here.
Yes.
With Loan Depot. Sean's going to help me talk with him through this one because, let's face it, I know I'm not a delight to listen to.
I may have to duck out once or twice just
to
get caught up with it, but I'll be here for Heath Ed.
Also, programming note, unfortunately, the Nobles aren't able to make it next hour. They're under the weather, or at least half of them are under the weather, and so we're going to get them rescheduled, and we'll play we'll have Crystal on next hour. We'll play our Humane Society interview that Sean had with her on Thursday next hour. So you'll have Crystal, no John, and we'll be talking about dogs, not plants and stuff. Although, if you need plant help and all that, Roswell Seeds got you covered. 'Tis the season for the Frosties with all this. Bring it all in.
And what I was going to say is,
why don't you just do the whisper thing into this? It's a lot easier on the voice. And then people can actually hear you.
I don't know.
Plus, you'll have the visual.
Let me see it.
All right.
It's just on.
Does this work any better?
Yeah, a little bit.
Can you hear me any better with this?
A little bit. How is it better on the voice? Does it
I'm
feel better?
just whispering now. I'm not really pushing the voice.
Right. They say that whispering can actually be worse than screaming in some cases, but
well, it's like the part that makes me hurt. I know. I don't know if I can pull this off. We'll see.
Just keep it on hand. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Oh man. All right. I can't laugh. Don't make me laugh. That's bad. All right. It is 21 minutes after 8. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We may get a few clouds today. We have a stationary front just off to our east, about 50 on the afternoon high. Then tonight, a few clouds. We do have some cold air moving in from the northern Rockies. Our lows 10 to 15. And then tomorrow we'll get sunshine. It will be quite a bit cooler. Afternoon highs in the upper 30s. We bounce back to the 60s with sunshine on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Let's see here. Currently, a balmy 13 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 54% with winds out of the south at 8 miles per hour. For today, your Martin Luther King Jr. Day, it's going to be chilly, increasing clouds. We're expected to hit a high of 44 today. Winds will be out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, we're looking at a chilly evening with wind, unfortunately. Mostly cloudy, gradually becoming clear. Expect an overnight low of 11. Winds will be out of the northeast, 15 to 20 miles per hour. And then after midnight, they'll drop down 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, sunny, 36 for a high. That's the high tomorrow, 36. We're barely above freezing tomorrow, but at least it'll be sunny. Winds won't be too loud either out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night going to be another chilly night, mostly clear, overnight low of 19. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then if you weren't sick before that, the weather will help along there because we're going to go from a high of 36 tomorrow to Wednesday having a high of 63 degrees. We're going to see like a 30, almost 40 degree swing in temps from Tuesday to Wednesday. South winds at 5 to 10. And then Thursday, we're going to be pushing 70, 69 and sunny on Thursday. But wait, there's more. So we're going to be near 70 we're going to be 36 tomorrow, 63 Wednesday, 69, almost 70 on Thursday. And then Friday, sunny back down to 47. Yeah, another 20, 30 degree temperature swing the other way. And then for the weekend, we're going to be 47 on Saturday and then back in the upper 50s on Sunday. So kind of roller coastery this week, but you'll be parkas tomorrow and then short sleeve t-shirts Wednesday, Thursday, then back to the parka for Friday. So don't put away the winter wardrobe yet or bust out the summer wardrobe yet either. It is 8:24. They're going to take a quick break. And then Elliot will talk more than me. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Foot and ankle problems are often agonizing, but they don't have to be. At Artesia General Hospital, we're passionate about helping every patient return to optimal mobility with confidence and comfort. Our board-certified podiatrists, Dr. Jennifer Chow and Dr. Michael Krupa, provide a full spectrum of services ranging from routine foot care and pain relief to customized treatment plans and leading-edge surgeries. Visit artesiageneral.com/foot care to request your appointment today.
Today we're
we're going to give you the 5th key to a great marriage, taken from Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for the Joy of Marriage. The 5th key is commitment, living the love you promised.
Galatians 6:9 says, "And let us not get tired of doing what is right, for after a while we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't get discouraged and give up." You know, one of the keys to commitment is just deciding in your heart, I'm never giving up on God, I'm never giving up on my marriage, I'm never giving up on my family.
Commitment is a promise made and kept by two imperfect people. It's good for our kids to see that problems happen and we're committed to solving them together.
If you want all 5 keys to a great marriage, you can go to our website at jomconference.com.
Hi everyone, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. When was the last time you looked forward to sleep? Let's be honest here, you know a restful night's sleep has more health benefits than you consciously think about during the day. Here at Glenn's, we carry Serta mattresses, and they've been in the business for more than 90 years. Choosing one can be hard, but I want you to know we have your back. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda in Roswell, where delivery is free since 1953.
Attention Roswell, Carlsbad, Artesia, and surrounding areas. Roswell Tire and Appliance has what you're looking for, with a great selection of refrigerators, freezers, washers and dryers, and ranges, and they can prepare your appliance as well, with many models in stock and on sale. You can own it today. RTA services after the sale with repair, warranty, and delivery to Roswell and surrounding areas. Save big on a selection of scratch and dent appliances too, plus a great selection of tires and a team of people to help you when you need it most. Roswell Tire and Appliance, 101 South Main in downtown Roswell. Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nok. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
The tool used to measure your feet at the shoe store is called a Brannock device. The person that measures your feet at home for no reason is called a creep with a foot fetish. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 27 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from Lone Depot, Elliot Rodriguez is back with us. Good morning, Elliot.
Good morning, Roswell. Happy New Year's to everybody.
How was your New Year's?
It was actually good. I took it easy. I mean, I heard a lot of noises, but it was nice and quiet at home.
Right.
I took it easy, so it's best to stay away from the nonsense sometimes.
Nobody's house burned down or anything.
Yeah, we didn't hear nothing really bad, so... But it was not too bad, It was good. What about you, Sean?
We did the smart thing. We actually celebrated New York's New Year's.
I like that.
So we wrapped the party up at right around 10 o'clock. Yeah, exactly.
10 p.m.
Exactly. Plus, you got the Eastern feed on pretty much anything you're going to watch with the with the ball. So you were celebrating the ball drop live.
Correct.
There you go.
I like to do Australia, so we just do it on the 31st at like 5 in the afternoon.
There you go.
So it's like actually the day before. So y'all were doing Monday. I did it like Sunday at 5, and then just went about my day.
Like just raises a false disney. Oi, good year, everybody.
Right. I actually was when I was a teenager. I was 14, and I went to Australia with the Boy Scouts. That's when we were there. It was over Christmas and the New Year's holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's the middle of the summer there. But that was weird. I called them on Christmas in Australia, but it was actually the day before. And so everyone else is like, I'm like, yeah, it's Christmas here. I'm eating all their Christmas crap with Vegemite and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's weird celebrating Christmas in a place that's like a day ahead of where you're at, where you're normally at.
I had a friend from Australia. He actually he told me like that they in their Santa Claus tends to be like a guy in board shorts, like and no shirt.
Yeah,
like that's their Santa.
Did you have a kangaroo in there?
Papoose.
I like to picture my Santa.
Like
riding in a golden chariot.
That's right. Well, for folks that don't know, Elliot joins us each month from Lone Depot, and he is the guy you talk to when you want to secure the finances to purchase your home. He's the guy you should see first before you talk to the real estate agent or anybody that has anything to actually do with a physical piece of property. He's the person you talk to say, yeah, your finances are here. We can get you approved for X amount of dollars. And but to be honest, if you want to live comfortably, shoot for this number, not this number, and all. But that's what Elliot does. So when you do go shop for your home, you're going out there knowing exactly what you can afford and not afford, and then you don't, find Taj Mahal, find out that it costs Taj Mahal prices, but you're living on, well, let's face it, $20 a night motel room budget. So that's what Elliot does.
I know. I always use that Taj Mahal thing. It's like, you may not be able to buy the Taj Mahal, but you make your own Taj Mahal.
Exactly.
After the fact.
I would argue I would like to live on the street across from the Taj Mahal. At least then my view is the Taj Mahal.
That's right.
Exactly.
I mean, if you're living the Taj Mahal,
location, correct?
Exactly. Then you're just looking at some homeless guy on the street,
No.
It's all about your view.
No, I mean, you can make the house the way you want it to be, and folks out there that have been thinking about buying a house, don't let whatever's happening in the market, whatever's happening in the politics, whatever's going on about the rates, stop you from doing that. Because like we always make that comment, it may not be the Taj Mahal, but you could make it the Taj Mahal after the fact.
Sure.
So always don't hold yourself back, because maybe it may not be the forever home, but it may be your starting home, okay?
Well, that's the thing.
And then you in the game, like Mike said all the time.
Yeah, that's something we say every time is that you gotta, if you're paying the rent every month and you're like, I can't afford that, but that's just it. The mortgage, you're going to be surprised and think, I could pay the similar amounts here. Yes, you might not get as much house that first time, but the big difference is, and this is back to your point, if you need a house now, it would be nice if interest rates were 3.9%, but they aren't, and you still need a house.
Correct.
So, yeah, the guy you're paying rent to, he might be, or she might be paying 3.9%, but that you can't do anything about that. So what you can do is you start investing in yourself. And so, great, okay, talk with Elliot, and he says, all right, I can get you, if your payments, you need to keep it at $700 a month or whatever it is, this is what we need to look for. And then once you do that, you may live in that house, but it's your house. You invest back into it. Every time you're making a payment on it, you're not paying the mortgage of someone else. You're paying towards your own principal. You're building equity into that home.
Yeah, you invested in yourself.
Now, when in 5 years, where you're hopefully a little bit better, you're also going to have whatever money you saved, plus however many thousands of dollars you've already paid towards paying off this home. So in essence, you're building that money back into your own. So your Taj Mahal may be 2 or 3 houses away, but you're building towards that rather than just paying rent and not going towards that direction and hoping you get a big fat raise and make more money. Now you can work to make your job and get better. At the same time, make your money work for you now while you're doing that.
Did you get all that, Elliot?
Yeah, I got all that.
I mean, I'm here as the winter's whisperer.
Did you understand it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good.
100%.
He's going to translate for
That's
us.
right.
No, he did good still.
Okay.
Well, I'm still a windbag, even I don't have a voice.
Well, I was yesterday on an open house, and we were talking about the same exactly, same thing. The fact of the matter, folks, is that if you buy a home right now, it may not be your forever home, but it could be your starting home, like we said at first. But that's just get you inside the game. Because if you buy a home, if you're renting, you're not getting anything in return. If you buy a home, if it takes you 1 or 2 years to just get you to the better home, or bigger size,
sure,
if that's all it takes, that is a small, tiny time sacrifice. Because the fact is, now you can maybe upgrade to your forever home,
sure,
and get you there,
And I also want to say that, that renting is not always a bad thing. I know we always say buy.
Yeah, buy. But the fact is, if you can't afford to buy a house, you have no other choice to rent.
But it could also be a way to reestablish too. Like if your credit is so bad.
Exactly. And we actually use that.
Using the rent and paying it on time.
Pay your rent on time.
Your credit rating's going to shoot up quick. And now you can, even if, so we got to do this for a year to establish, to get you some credit.
Correct.
But then when your credit score gets back out of the 500s here and more into something that we can get a lender to say, yeah, we'll talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but that would be one of the reasons to do that. But that's, and that's where the difference, I think, Elliot versus some of your other mortgage lenders. People in that scenario, which is, let's face it, probably a majority of us, if we all had plenty of money, we wouldn't need guys like Elliot to help us out. We just do it ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where the thing is Elliot's one of those people that will sit down and they'd be like, okay, you're not there yet, but work with me for 6 months or a year. Here, let's do this, and then we'll try again.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas other lenders may see it, they'll just give you the letter. Sorry, bud, good luck to you. Mm-hmm. And that's the big difference here. So if you're new to this and lost and you're like, I want all that, but I have no idea what you're talking about, this is where I always talk to Elliot. Elliot, he loves to hold your hand and get you educated on how to do this, because guess what? Once you do that, you're going to be a great customer, not for him, but also just for yourself for the rest of your life. So, if Elliot helps you out now and makes this a great experience for you, guess what? 30 years from now, when you're an expert in this, Elliot will still be in your corner, helping you with whatever you need.
I better be doing mortgages 30 years from now, ain't I?
That's right. Yeah. Hey, you're still young.
No, but you know what?
Yeah.
I'm still young. I might just look young, that's all.
Maybe this is just a good sign. I don't know.
No, but you know what? That's true, because the fact is, if you do the right thing right now, you'll be able to do all the things later, okay? I mean, me and him are a good example. We have bought different houses throughout the years because we did the right steps at first, and we learned, and as farther as you get into the system, as far as you get into the process, you might be in a different spot that you can actually do better for yourself.
Absolutely.
And I do it all the time. I talk to people all the time that may not be able to buy a house today. Well, maybe I'll tell them, do this, do that. And guess what? Next month or 2 months from now, they're able to. And I do it all the time.
Right.
Okay. And that's the part that's awesome, because I love doing that and helping people buy a home. We were talking about that very same thing, that you buy a house right now, and 6 months, a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, it's going to be worth more money. And you're investing in yourself, not in somebody else's pocket. Okay. So, like, if you decide to move, or you get blessed that you get a nice, new job somewhere else, at least you could sell that and get some money back to put down into your other home.
Absolutely.
And now you got a better job too. So that means you can buy a bigger home, a better home, and now you got money from the house that you already own for the past 2 or 3 or 4 years.
Absolutely.
And now you got more down payment than when you started at first.
Right.
And to be going further into things, I got a bunch of programs right now. Okay. I got programs that can help people that doesn't have a lot of money saved up to be able to buy a house.
Sure.
So all you have to do is ask, okay? I'm gonna give you all your choices that you have that are available for you. So all you have to do is get with us. We'll take care of you. We'll get you what is available, and we'll push you in the right program that that is gonna benefit you the most.
Absolutely.
And get you the home, your dreams, or at least your beginning, your starting home. And I bought so many homes. Obviously, I'm still on the look for my forever home, obviously, okay? As crazy as that sounds, folks.
Absolutely.
And I bought a lot of houses. My wife and I are still looking in town. We know which area we want, so we're waiting for a house to become available in that area. But we done the right thing in the past, so now we're ready for it. So that is the same tools and the same guidelines that I'm trying to give anybody, so they can get their forever home eventually, or even the first time.
You got to crawl before you walk before you run before you ride a Harley. It makes a lot of sense, that you got to start the process. It's all steps, and that's why I say go to somebody like Elliot, because you've helped hundreds, thousands of people find their forever home,
and
find their starter homes.
I really love that.
And you've seen virtually every scenario, every situation that somebody could be in. And you know what steps to take or what avenues to take in order to help them. You don't want to go in blind to a situation like buying your home.
And that's true, because there's so many scenarios. Once in a while I get a surprise, but we work around it anyway. But the point is, if you come to me, I'm gonna give you the tools. Like my new loan officer says, we got the tools, we got the resources. Come and talk to us, and we'll get you your home. Okay. I will give you my word. You do what I ask you to do. I will help anybody buy a home. It could be today. It could be next month. It could be 3 months from now. It could be 6 months from now. But I tell you what, you do what I ask you to do. Follow my lead. Trust in what I have to put in place for you, and I'll get your house. I have not lost a customer because of that. ever. Okay,
And believe it or not, once you get your first home, once you're approved, it gets way easier. Like you'll find that more avenues open up to you, more doors. Your finances, like when you think,
start changing.
It's like when you're looking for your first job and everybody says, "Well, how much experience do you? How am I supposed to get experience if you
don't let me do what?"
Same thing. If you have your first.
Do you
job,
remember when we were kids? Oh my God!
Yeah.
I was trying to get a job. It's like you don't have no experience. Like, okay, so let me start working.
Right.
I work for nothing almost. I mean, come on, let's do it.
Uncle Sam didn't care.
Yeah, he sure did. He's like,
Uncle Sam,
sign right here.
Yeah. Uncle Sam take care of us that way. So.
You know, it's the best thing I ever did anyway, in the military, to be honest. You know, because it taught me so many different things, But, folks, don't be afraid. Don't worry about what's happening. Everybody needs a place to live, okay?
Absolutely.
So if you've been having that edge in the side and you've been thinking about it, don't worry about what's happening out there. You have to live somewhere either way. Allow somebody like us, somebody like me to actually help you, guide you to where you need to do so.
When for this first time process, the two things that will make this so smooth and successful. One is talking to the guy like Elliot, getting Elliot, you're lined up your numbers and getting all that good.
Correct.
And then talk to the real estate agent and tell them exactly what you want. Let their expertise, if you don't know things like red flags, let them, that way you don't buy the lemon house. The good news is, and this is really, it says 99.9% of real estate always increases in value. Whenever it doesn't, it's because someone did some really dumb stuff, like not do permits and things like that can get you in trouble. So get a good agent that looks out for those kind of red flags so you don't make that kind of purchase. Now, I'm not talking about dilapidated houses. Fixer-uppers are fine. It's ones that were fixed up and they did it wrong and you got to redo it all, or that they put it on a lot that sinks. And so that kind of stuff, that's not a big deal here. That's
sand on there, right?
That's kind of a bigger deal back east in swampland when they fill it with dirt. Next thing your house drops
they didn't do a
6
good
inch.
job and set it up.
But to avoid those kind of pitfalls, that's where you use the real estate agent's expertise. They know the neighborhoods. They know that kind of stuff. So between an Elliot and a good agent, if you have each of those in your corner, you're going to have an awesome first-time home. And even, like I said, even if it's not the dream home, it's going to be a home that if you live in it for 5 years, you're going to turn around and sell it for probably 10 to 30% higher than what you paid for.
A good example, last year, we had that program for the $25,000 grant. It was actually a grant that you don't even have to pay back, okay? I had a handful of people that were actually approved. Everybody got too picky because they couldn't find the right home. And I get that 100%. But you just let yourself pass a home that could have been just beginning home, and now you have an automatic $25,000 equity.
Right.
I mean, that doesn't come all the time.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, I was like thinking some of the ones that didn't jump into like move faster or were a little too picky. It's like, why you did that? I mean, and I could not advise people enough.
Sure.
Like, choose a home. Maybe not. It may not be your forever home, but choose a home. When those things come. You have to take advantage of something like that. And folks,
at that point, that's just a stepping stone.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, $25,000 back then. Okay, there's a few programs that are coming out that should have come out on Friday. Okay, that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about these coming weeks and everything. And everybody's going crazy on social media and everything like that. If you guys are interested in something like that, feel free to call me. I'll tell you the facts on some of those things. But there's program, and the market has actually got better for the past couple of weeks. So we went from a year that was crazy to start getting good. Yes, the rates are still high, but it's costing less, folks. Okay, so what does that mean? If it's costing less, and we talked about this before, that means the 7.5, maybe it costs X amount of money. Now it costs less. That means you could still go down to maybe 6.5 or 7% at a lower cost when it was at 7.5. So that means the rates are getting better. How soon they're going to get to the point that we are like, oh my God, the storm is past? No, because it's still a little work to do.
They got a plateau.
That's what's happening. It's at a plateau level, and it's going to get a little better. And remember, we got election year. Okay, there's a lot of things happening. Okay, So all those things going to work for our advantage. And let's be honest, the feds are working and trying to do the best they can to try to adjust the system.
Sure.
You know, and that's why some of these programs are coming out just to spice up the market to get people to be able to buy houses and help you, you know, folks out there that might need some assistance.
Sure.
Okay, to be able to buy a house. So don't be afraid. Ask for the programs. I actually got an email in my computer right now this morning. I saw, hey, I'd like to get some of those assistant programs to be able to buy. I'm gonna reach out to that individual in a little while and let her know, yes, sure, there's some programs to see which one you qualify for. And folks, there's not just one program. There's a bunch of them. Okay, even my company right now is giving a 2% grant for conventional approach. Okay, that's a grant. It means you don't have to pay it back.
Right.
Okay, that's one. We got what is called Access Zero. I can give you an FHA approach up to 5% of the sales price of the home.
Wow.
To be able to buy a house.
And none of
now
these
that one is payable. Okay. But if you don't have the money, hello.
And none of these prerequisites are like you got to be former military or a teacher.
No, I mean,
or
there's a lot of good
law
programs.
enforcement or something.
All that stuff even helps even more.
Sure, those
okay?
are, but this is aside from all
This
that.
is just period. And guess what, folks? Access Zero with Loan Depot at this moment, okay, that is a program that you don't have to even be a first-time home buyer.
Okay.
That is so freaking all crazy right there. I was like, really? If somebody wants a niche, there's the niche right there.
Absolutely.
Okay? So if your credit scores are where it needs to be, you can qualify for up to 5%. That is crazy right there. So saying all that, folks, all you guys have to do is reach out to us, give us a call. We'll give you all the details, going more in depth into what it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, there's programs from the state of New Mexico, from the federal government, okay, from Loan Depot itself. So we got the stuff out there. All you have to do is see which one, that you qualify for.
Well, and at the end of the day, everyone, the country, the government, everyone knows it is a good thing when we have more homeowners in the country, because the economy, if we're all homeowners, the economy's going to be good. It's just, and you're talking about interest rates and all that, and you're talking about the market and how things are a little better. This is a lesson. I'm a 50-year-old man, and this is a lesson I've learned in my 50 years. People with money will make money and keep making money. People with no money, if you're rich, and so what I'm saying is, people that have the money are going to protect their money. So when you see the market do what it's going to do, those are temporary things. The people with the money, they're going to be just fine. They're going to do their thing.
And let's be honest, we are the ones that make everything go.
Yeah.
The people that got a lot of money, folks, like Mike is saying, they save their money, okay? They protect their money. A lot of people say, like, why are they like that? They're rich. Well, that's how they got to be rich, okay? But the thing is this. We are the one that are basically the gas, the oil of the machine that makes everything
We're
run.
the blood pumping
We're
everything
the ones
everywhere.
that push and get it. Sounds like that movie, what's the, with, oh, shoot, I forgot her name.
I was thinking that Jason.
That she goes, push.
Oh.
When she's swimming.
Right.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I cannot believe I opened that kind of worm and I can't remember.
It's not ringing a bell to me.
Jesus.
Swimming movie.
But yeah, no, it's exactly what you're talking about, though. That
if you don't stop.
I'm curious.
I know. I just opened that kind of worm. And now Sean will find it right now.
I'm a squirrel, man. I get easily distracted.
But you know what? It was with Jennifer.
Lawrence.
No, not Lawrence. The other one.
Jennifer. Beal. Jennifer.
The girlfriend for she dated not Black.
Jay Jolie.
No, I'm bad right now. But anyway, it was with all the karate and all that kind of stuff, and her father was teaching her how to swim, and she just with the legs only. Okay, and it's like push. Don't. That's what we have to do, folks. You have to push. If you don't push,
right,
you're gonna drown. You're gonna drown.
Well, no one in life is that lesson. No one's going to be a bigger advocate for you than you, and so that's what that's what he's talking about, pushing and all that.
Oh, you're talking about Jennifer Lopez.
No, the other one.
Oh, Jennifer
Aniston.
No, the one that's doing the credit card commercials and all that now.
Yes.
She was not Alias. What was that show she did? She got famous.
Jennifer Garner.
Garner. That's it. That's the one. Alias. Is that the show she got?
No, that's the only thing.
She got famous off one TV show like that, or did she?
And it's she was swimming.
Yeah. With the two hand swords.
I don't know.
I know he's looking into it now. Folks, we just got a little,
I'm
thrown
here to
off
translate.
by
I have no idea what the heck's going on.
He's
over here.
translating for us and trying to help us out of here. So. No, but folks, if you're in the market to buy a house, or you've been thinking about it, don't worry about all the myths and all the things that a lot of people are always telling you. You cannot buy a house, or if somebody ever told you, you don't qualify, you don't buy a house. There's so many folks out there that think about buying a house and somebody else tell them no, and they came to me and the word that I actually said, I don't know what the heck they were talking about, because you qualify. Electra, okay? Carmen Electra.
Oh, we're way off.
We were way off.
So she was in
Carmen Electra.
What was that? Yeah, I know the movie now you're talking. It was the other Daredevil.
The Daredevil.
It was Daredevil, and she was like the female version of Daredevil. Electra. Was it Electra?
It was Electra.
Electra.
Yeah.
So when the dad was training her, push. You see all that stuff I have in my head. I know it would come back without even looking it up on Google.
Let's tap out on that one.
That one I had seen.
No, but folks, don't be afraid of all that stuff. Somebody told you in the past that you cannot buy a house. First of all, if a lender ever tells you, sorry, you don't qualify, they need to tell you what to do. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got customers that I don't recall ever telling a customer, I'm sorry, I don't have no idea how to help you.
Right.
Like your lender should know why you cannot buy a house.
Right, here's your problems.
This is the problem. This is what we need to fix. Okay. If they don't give you some kind of plan, I'm sorry, you're talking to the wrong individual.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they may not want your business.
Exactly. And folks, I don't care how big or small the loan is. I always say it. Every customer in my branch, and I don't mean just me, all my staff, you are going to be treated like you're $1 million customers. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if somebody have not treated you that way, and I have not given you the time of day to really, truly take care of you, you need to come to the right people. Okay.
Absolutely.
And we will take care of you. This is what we do.
And if you're curious about all these programs that Ellie's talking about, make an appointment, sit down, talk, and say, hey, I heard you talking about this. I need to, what's some for me? Here's my situation. And so let's have that conversation. So
correct.
If nothing else, let's get a play. Like if you're, because all of us, I think, want to own our own home. If you don't already,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's something everybody has on their list of things. Let's talk about it. Let's see where we're at here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put some feelers out. Next thing you know, something you think you couldn't do right now, might find out, oh, dang, I can't do it right now. Let's start it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the sooner you get in, the sooner you're back to investing to yourself and not somebody else.
And I've been in so many situations, scenarios that a lot of people, okay, like, I don't know if I can buy a house. I don't even know. And the fact of the matter is, yes, they were able to. You just need somebody to take a minute to take care of you.
Well, if you think you're like, oh, my credit's garbage, I know I'm not going to do it. Yeah, none of us are walking around with perfect 800 some credit scores where you just walk, most of us like, oh, I don't know.
That'd be a utopia kind of situation,
Right.
like everything working the way you want it to be.
Exactly.
But to be honest, once you're in and you start doing this, it's easier than you think.
You get there.
Yeah, once you start, you're like, oh man, my mortgage is payment, my car. Next thing you know, $780. Oh, well, it's $815. Now look at this. It does do that. I remember the first time I saw 8 something on my credit score. I was peacocking around.
Right.
Oh yeah,
I made it.
You want to just go to a car dealership just to see what they try to give you.
Yeah.
I got a few folks that tell me, oh, have you ever seen 800? Like, yeah, I see it a lot. Trust me, more than what you think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it enough as I should. And then I tell them, I say it every day when I look at my credit.
Not to brag.
Not to brag. But it took me, guys, it took me a while. Okay, I've been married before, and I went through some hiccups there, and
20 years ago, you would ask me this.
It wasn't the best way. It's like
25 years ago, not the same.
I remember when I was building a house in Colorado Springs that the builder told me, yeah, you still qualify, but now you have to put an extra 5%. It's like, why? Because of your credit. I was like, well, that's beautiful.
They need some insurance money.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Give contact.
Elliot, folks want to get a hold of you. How do they reach out to you?
The best way to reach out to me is, call my cell number, 719-237-4680. or either you could reach out and send me an email. And if you send me an email, at least put all your information on the email.
Sure.
And that way I don't think it's some kind of weird stuff trying to just, reach out to me that is trying to do some harm to us.
Mm-hmm.
But
just don't say how you doing.
I know. Send me an email. My email is Elliot Rodriguez. I'm sorry. Elliot Rodriguez.
It's on the card there.
At loandepot.com. Okay. And my website is loandepot.com// Elliot Rodriguez.
All right, he passed the test. Absolutely. It's
one L on Elliot.
One L in Elliot,
Yes.
and one
Z.
T also as well. And then
And Z at the end, yeah.
and Rodriguez is a G and a Z in the end. So. But yeah, the best way is to reach myself.
Right.
You could call my number, which you could say the number because
Absolutely.
I don't call myself all the time at the office.
Your cell number is 719-237-4680. Or you can call the main office at 505-445-2070. And then there's a fax number here is 833-418-1104. Again, if you're going to fax something, make it attention or care of Elliot and retention Elliot, and make sure there's the need to know info on whatever you're faxing over. And props for going old school.
And you know what? Everybody, you know what? There's still a lot of people that still fax stuff, but not. It's crazy, but it's still there.
He just got rid of carrier pigeon like a month ago.
Oh, yeah. He was taking teletype there for a quick minute, but
no, yeah. If you're gonna send me an email, feel free to do so. Put all your information there so I can give you a call back.
Absolutely.
Or either just call my cell number. If I don't answer, I'm literally talking to Mike. Okay, or either talking to somebody else, but I will return your call. That's one thing I will tell anybody out there.
You will get back.
I will get back to you. If somebody says ever, I take it almost like a personal attack. Like, you don't call me back, that's not true.
Right.
Okay, not in my staff. I make a big deal. We are here to take care of everybody.
Absolutely.
And everybody counts.
Even if you can't give them the right answer, you're going to at least communicate with them what's going on.
And tell you what to do.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Elliot, as always. Appreciate it. We'll see you next month.
Thank you for having me.
Sure, we'll have Super Bowl champions to talk about next month.
That's right, true. We're going to have something interesting.
And it won't be the
that was
Cowboys.
a good game yesterday,
I might be wearing this inside out. We'll see what happens.
Exactly.
No, thank you. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Quick break. We'll be back.
Now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. The American Legion Post 61 has now taken ownership of Memory Lawn Memorial Cemetery. Commander Stephen Lee in Roswell told the Daily Record that members and their families will volunteer at the private nonprofit cemetery. The Legion also holds several events there each year. The family of Henry Mayhew had been caring for the cemetery since his death in 2022. Mayhew was one of several people who sued the previous owners due to lack of care at the cemetery. The Artesia Daily Press is reporting that EOG Resources will close its Artesia office. Several employees confirmed the closure Friday. 55 workers will reportedly be affected. Later, EOG issued a statement that said it was consolidating its Artesia and Midland, Texas offices into one division, which would be located in Midland. The statement from the company says about half of the employees are expected to retire, while the other half will be offered a chance to relocate to other EOG offices. The company did not give a reason for the Artesia office closure. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We may get a few clouds today. We have a stationary front just off to our east, about 50 on the afternoon high. Then tonight, a few clouds. We do have some cold air moving in from the northern Rockies. Our lows 10 to 15. And then tomorrow we'll get sunshine. It will be quite a bit cooler. Afternoon highs in the upper 30s. We bounce back to the 60s with sunshine on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
A dining set is the staple of family gatherings. It's where you spend holidays, where you help your kids with their homework. It's an entertainment setting for game nights or new recipes. Your dining room is a centerpiece of style and design. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. Here at Glenn's, we bring quality to the modern dining room. Our selection is extensive with clean lines and subtle curves, from traditional to contemporary with wood or stone tops. Stylize your dining room at Glenn's on Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
The crisp air is reminding us that time is going by so quickly. It's already a new season. Isn't it time that you've thought about putting yourself first? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. Don't wait another minute. come in and learn how you can replace that broken tooth with a dental implant. Now you too can have the confidence to smile ear to ear.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio, KEND Roswell.
Coast to coast. Brad Taymyers with the National Weather Service in Kansas City.
We're still looking at cold temperatures remaining here in Kansas City, at least through Tuesday. So we've got a wind chill warning that's in effect all the way through midday Tuesday. Still expecting those wind chill values of 20 to 40 below zero here over the next few days.
The National Weather Service said on Sunday wind chills could plummet as low as minus 70 degrees in Montana and the Dakotas. Former President Trump is in the driver's seat as voters prepare for tonight's Iowa caucuses. Here's White House correspondent Greg Clugston.
Trump continues to hold a substantial lead in the polls as he eyes the prize in the nation's first nominating contest. The Des Moines Register NBC News Iowa poll released over the weekend shows the former president with 48% support from likely GOP caucus goers. Donald Trump heads into the evening caucuses with a 28-point lead over Nikki Haley, according to the latest Des Moines Register NBC News Iowa poll. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Meeting with volunteers in Des Moines, the former president said based on the polls he expects to do well.
Just had a poll, what was the number, like 71 to 10 national.
Conflict, a divided world, and the rise of AI on the top of the list at this World Economic Forum.
The event, held annually in Davos, Switzerland, brings together business, political, and other elites. Over 60 heads of state and government, including Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, will be heading to town to hold both public appearances and closed-door talks. They'll be among more than 2,800 attendees, which also include academics, artists, and international organization leaders.
That is Jeremy House reporting. More from townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
One of the stars in a 1950s TV show has passed away.
The Honeymooners' Joyce Randolph, who played the witty and sarcastic Trixie Norton, has died. She was the last surviving main character of the comedy from television's golden age. The Honeymooners, of course, also starred Jackie Gleason, Audrey Meadows, and Art Carney. Decades later, Randolph said she still received dozens of fan letters every week. Joyce Randolph was 99. Jason Walker reporting.
The White House says Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin may need some additional care. The Pentagon says Austin remains hospitalized and is in good condition following prostate cancer surgery and an infection. But National Security Council spokesman John Kirby told CBS's Face the Nation over the weekend the secretary remains actively involved and engaged. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Editor-at-large for The Spectator, Ben Domenech, says younger voters seem to be the most optimistic about America's prospects for the future.
I think that those people, having lived through as much strife as they have over the past 25 years or so, basically from 9/11 onward, you have actually a little bit more of an optimistic, hopeful attitude.
Domenech says younger voters associate hope with the eventual replacement of old guard Democrats like Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden.
But I do think that there is this kind of glimmer of once we get past this moment, once we have people who are capable of, finding their car, finding a podium, when they're supposed to be giving a speech, things might be able to be restored at some point in the future.
Ben Domenech of The Spectator was interviewed by the Salem Radio Network. The financial markets are closed today for the Martin Luther King holiday. You'll find more of these stories at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Bob Agnew.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
Your SRM program begins in 10 seconds.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to our number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday, everybody. I am Mike Winters, even though I don't sound like me. I actually feel not bad. It's just this part sounds pretty god-awful. So my apologies. But hopefully this is actually better. I promise it is. It was an effort to even sound like this and carry it for more than a couple sentences on Friday. Today I can have a conversation without getting completely just tired.
As I've gotten older, I've started wondering if this is the last iteration of things. Does that make sense? Like, for example, if I were to shave my head bald, how much of it would grow back and where? You know?
Don't pull at that thread.
Yeah, I'm not planning on it. But it's the same thing with voice. It's like, I wonder sometimes, it's like, is this just what I'm going to sound like forever? Like, am I just going to be like this forever?
God, I hope not.
Please.
Oh, this will get better.
That's every hour now we reference that.
I don't get this in my pocket very often, so I got to take advantage. But yeah, I know for a fact because when I joined the military and they shaved my head, it never quite had the full locks of my youth after basic training. Like, you look at my high school yearbooks or those photos, and then you look at post military, and now my hair has got less and less over the years. But that was the beginning of the end. It just never came back with before the military, people used to tell me I had thick hair. Mm-hmm. I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah, it's exactly. They took your once prominent nature.
Right.
What was her name? You sound. Was it Mamie White? No. One of the lady. There's one woman on a documentary that you sound so much like. I think her name was. I think they called her Baby.
Okay.
But the lady from the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. Oh, baby's gonna get some tonight.
I'm a West Virginia 10.
It's right. I feel like I should shake a pill bottle at you.
Oh, man.
And I couldn't possibly play or find the clip. I'm just trying to find that. I think maybe Mamie. Oh, yeah. Mamie's going to get some tonight.
Well, hopefully I don't get them too all hot bothered. Oh, man. That's funny. Sorry, I have more to say. My voice wasn't working there. But yeah, I'm so ready for this to be done. I ain't gonna lie. There's been days, like even over the weekend, I'm just getting so mad and frustrated because, and here's the, I gotta tell you a story real quick, just since we're talking about my voice. Before I do that, but the problem also is my wife is hard of hearing, and she wears hearing aids to navigate her day.
Right.
Which works pretty good, and we could communicate great.
Mm-hmm.
Where it got really bad is at night when she takes him out to go to bed.
Oh, yeah.
Or in the morning before she gets up, and I'm like, I might as well be talking Chinese.
At that point, you need to become Lightning Jack. You need to get yourself a whiteboard and a marker and just...
Well, I've done a lot of pantomime, like...
you,
a lot of that.
You drive me crazy. That was the one I remember growing up. Point to bananas.
Yeah, a lot of that. And but no, on Friday, after I did the show and everything, I was working and went to the house, and I wasn't hungry, and so I came back to work, and I was like, I'm starting to get a little hungry, so I went and just what I would do when I'm hungry, I got on the McDonald's app, ordered some food, pick it up to the drive-thru, and I didn't think anything about my voice or nothing.
Right.
I just did what I do, and as soon as I pulled up to the drive-thru, welcome to McDonald's. You're using our mobile order. I was like, yes. Well, and it was worse than this.
Can
I'm
you
like,
speak up, sir? No, I can't.
and I said, I have a mobile order. You want a quarter pounder? No, I have a mobile order. Quarter pounder. What else for you, sir? Mobile order. You have a mobile? Yes. What's the 4-digit code? Oh boy, XB26. What? What's the first two? After 10 minutes of that,
did you go?
I finally got through.
I'm surprised you didn't pull out your military background and be like X-ray Bravo.
I tried, but he wasn't getting that either. Between the audio going through the voice box thing, to me sounding like actually worse than this. It was just, and as soon as I got myself, I just had to laugh because like that was literally a scene out of some kind of TV sitcom right there.
Right.
Where I just walked up, like, I need a what? It was but that happened to me on Friday because I wanted a fish sandwich.
Can I tell you that I danced around trying to figure out what the terminology would be, but eventually I learned that this is the first time I've ever experienced in my entire life fever dreams. Like where I would, pass out and see see myself getting up off the couch, going and like doing stuff in my house, and then realizing, it hadn't been done yet.
Yeah.
And like, wow, it felt so like I was hallucinating.
I haven't done that since I was a kid.
It was insane.
Fortunately, I lucked out and I woke up in time because the time it happened, I'm dreaming I'm going to the bathroom and all that. And fortunately, I woke up because I was about to let loose, and I was like, and I'm not in the bathroom. Yeah, I was a kid. I was probably young, maybe even a teenager at that point. But I remember getting sick and having that happen to me before. But yeah.
Yeah, it was rough.
Man, well, I'm glad you're doing better.
Yeah, say it back at you, bud.
Thanks. Just wish I sounded better. I'm so glad when I don't have to explain myself everywhere I go. And like, quite frankly, if I had a job where I didn't have to talk for a living, probably I can navigate. But that makes it that much more frustrating where I can't do my job.
Right.
And then I go home and I can't communicate with my wife half the time because she can't hear and I can't talk. So it's
yeah. Once we're done with the shows, I'm putting Mike on voice rest and vocal rest. He can write, but I'll voice whatever. You were going on vocal rest, man. I can't have you sound like this, for next week's choir practice.
Right. I'm supposed to have a meeting tonight too. I might duck out of that one so I don't have to talk, but we'll see.
Or just go ahead and get yourself a text-to-speech AI generated thing.
Yeah, I need a.
Oh, something happened to me last week, and it was kind of upsetting. This is two things in 2 different days. The first one, I was just messing around with an AI text-to-speech thing because I was trying different voices to see if, I could, maybe work something into like some imaging for the brand or something. And I spelled my name the way my name is spelled, Sean, and could not get AI to say Sean.
It did do
Scene. It's constantly said Scene Smalls. So I had to misspell my own name in order to get AI to pronounce it right. The next day, my friend told me to download the Target app. So I downloaded it and it told me to put in my info. I put in my first name and I went to the next thing and it redlined and it said, please enter a valid first name.
Wow.
This is the most I've ever questioned my name being a valid first name in my entire life. Target put me in that level of consciousness. And I'll tell you what it was. There was a space after the N.
No.
I didn't realize. But for a quick minute, I was like, Target is making serious judgments on my life.
Right.
Yeah. Oh.
Sneeze come. I was trying to get that. Yeah, weirdly enough, the AI is worse technology than what's in my Jeep because I have that, the phone, so the hand's free.
Mm-hmm.
So you Bluetooth your phone to the car and all that. That knows Sean.
Right.
It's spelled SEAM, but now it'll botch your last name. But it gets Sean right.
I think I've heard it botched my memory last name. Yeah.
But it gets their first name right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to argue my Jeep's smarter than AI.
Yeah. But 2 days straight, I was just like, that's the most I've ever questioned the validity of my name in my life.
Right.
But
sure you want to go to SHAWN?
No, I'm good. I like
See, to me, because Sean is a universal boy or girl name.
Right.
To me, that the SA, I know it's not true, but in my head, that should be the female spelling.
Right.
And the male version is SEAN. I know that's not true because I know several Seans.
Right. More often
that are SHAWN.
Is the feminine.
Yeah.
But I've never had a problem with But yeah, so it's definitely left me questioning things. And then I went into, fever dreams. And so last week was a lot.
Yeah. I had a friend growing up named Francis, and it was the same thing.
Yeah.
Because Francis, though, is a I guess, genderless name, too.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's not as many women named Francis unless they were born in the 1920s.
Yeah.
But, like, my aunt was Francis. And so I had a friend Francis and an Aunt Francis. I've talked about Aunt Francis. She's the old lady that's very racist that used to yell things out in Chinese restaurants and get us almost jumped. That's her.
You mean like Frankie? Yeah.
But she spells it Frances.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, my buddy Francis is Francis.
Right.
Which he didn't go by Frank or nothing. He's Francis.
Maybe How did you do that to yourself?
I don't know.
Change it to Frank or something, dude. I mean, nickname yourself.
You got to Francis it up, brother. All right, let's get the interview going so I can shut up and Sean can get to work. We're going to play our interview we have with Crystal Noble. Unfortunately, the folks from Roswell C can't make it in this morning, John and Crystal, so we'll just have Crystal, the interview we had with her Thursday from the Humane Society, talking about what they've got going on. So we're going to play that here in just a few. But first, here's your weather, which is very roller coastery, very cold, and then warm, and then cold again.
Pecos Valley weather, we may get a few clouds today. We have a stationary front just off to our east, about 50 on the afternoon high. Then tonight, a few clouds. We do have some cold air moving in from the northern Rockies. Our lows 10 to 15. And then tomorrow we'll get sunshine. It will be quite a bit cooler. Afternoon highs in the upper 30s. We bounce back to the 60s with sunshine on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 17 degrees here in Roswell. Yeah, we jumped up 5 degrees in an hour. 46% humidity right now with winds out of the south at 13 miles per hour. It's very roller coastery this week. A cold one today, increasing clouds with a high of 44. South winds 5 to 10. Tonight, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, gradually clearing after midnight with an overnight low of 11 degrees. Winds will be blowing out of the northwest, 15 to 20 early. They'll drop down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. Tuesday, sunny, high of 36. Yeah, a high of 36 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south of 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 19. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then Wednesday, we're jumping up into the 60s. Sunny, 63 on Wednesday. South winds 5 to 10. Thursday, sunny skies, pushing 70, 69 for a high. And then it all bottom drops back out again Friday. Mostly sunny, 47 for a high on Friday. And then the weekend, partly cloudy, 47 on Saturday. And partly cloudy, back into the upper 50s on Sunday. All right, 9:19, quick break. And then our interview with Crystal Noble. Don't go away.
Garlic has been around for thousands of years and is one of the world's favorite seasonings. Without garlic, most of our food would be dull and boring, kind of like watching C-SPAN. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. If you like to cook and like to grow things, you ought to try growing your own garlic. Come by Roswell Seed Company and we'll show you how. And next August, you'll have fresh, homegrown garlic to make your food taste great and keep the vampires away.
Life is better when you can just be. Be yourself. Be worry-free. Be at your best. Now you can be confident knowing the health insurance you find through Be Well & M has you covered for checkups, prescriptions, and more. Be Well & M can help connect you to a plan that may cost as little as $10 a month. It's time for you to be happy, be healthy, be insured. Let Be Well & M connect you to a health plan that's right for you and your wallet so you can just be. Call 1-833-2-BE-WELL or visit BeWellandM.com.
The Artesia Arts Council presents Gunhild Carling, Sweden's Queen of Swing, Saturday, January 27th at the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center in downtown Artesia. Gunhild Carling and the entire family of musicians, singers, dancers, and more promise a dazzling evening that you and your family won't soon forget. Pre-sale adult tickets are $35 and $25 for K through 12. Week of show tickets are $45 and $35. So get yours early at ArtesiaArtsCouncil.com. Enjoy the marvelous Gunhild Carling, Sweden's Queen of Swing, 7 p.m. Saturday, January 27th at the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center in downtown Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodger Tax. Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nok. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
At Artesia General Hospital, our board-certified podiatrists are committed to providing personalized care in a welcoming environment. Dr. Jennifer Chow and Dr. Michael Krupa offer the latest surgical techniques and treat a range of conditions including arthritis, bunions, joint care, and more. If you're suffering from foot, ankle, or lower leg pain, we can help. Visit artesiageneral.com/foot care to request an appointment and begin your journey toward happier, healthier feet.
The Western Junior College Athletic Conference play is underway for your New Mexico Military Institute Broncos. The Broncos tipped off conference with a home loss to the visiting Howard Hawks Monday and traveled to Levelland, Texas Thursday to face the #1 South Plains Texans. Your next chance to see the Broncos at home is Monday night, January 15th, when the Frank Phillips College Plainsmen visit the Cahoon Armory. Come out and root for your NMMI Broncos Monday, 6:30 p.m.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Bamboo plants can grow up to 36 inches in a day. So if you're told you're growing like a weed, you can say, no, I'm growing like a bamboo. Here's Mike Winters.
Minutes now, and good morning, 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, 19 minutes now, and joining us in studio this morning, in an official capacity now, from the Roswell Humane Society, Ms. Crystal Noble. How are you doing this morning?
Wonderful, if that wind wasn't blowing.
I know, it's already starting to get at it, and I don't think it's going to show any signs of stopping for the next couple of days, so good luck to you out there. It's, you know, honestly, it wouldn't be so bad if the wind itself wasn't so just, like, biting. Like, it just takes your breath away.
Yeah, it's like, it feels like there's an iceberg right outside of Roswell and it's blowing right off.
Right, exactly. It's polar wind that we're dealing with. But how's your 2024 been so far?
Not bad. Some not cool things with animals, but hopefully we can get people to stop being jerks. You know,
that's, you hope for the best, but honestly, it's probably not going to happen. I did hear some things that went down recently, and it's kind of just a real bummer. People are terrible. It was left a dog in the cage, I guess, outside of the
Champ.
Yeah, Champ. Yeah. That's just, that's awful. Obviously, you know, that's a horrific event. You hope that it's, you know, once in a lifetime thing, but honestly, we know it's.
We have people that leave animals in crates outside our door all the time. The majority of the time, they do it before we get there, so that way when we get there, we see them.
Right.
But it's not often we have somebody leave an animal half dead outside our door while we're open and not even try to come in and say, hey, even if you just found the dog and you're trying to help it,
right?
Come and let us know, because we don't have a window. It's all metal. I can't look out there and see, somebody left something outside the door.
Right.
So if somebody wouldn't have told us, hey, somebody left a crate outside the door, until we had to go outside for something, we wouldn't have found them.
That is awful. I just, doggone it. So obviously that problem notwithstanding, it's a new year for the Humane Society, and what do we hope to achieve in 2024 with the Humane Society?
Well, we are officially started for our new roof.
Okay.
So hopefully by the end of the month, weather permitting, they will get started on that. So if anybody wants to donate monetary donations towards the cost of it, because it is quite expensive.
Absolutely. Especially for the size of your facility.
Yeah, and it's because the thrift shop and our facility is all in one. So they're doing the thrift shop and ours all together because it's one building.
Right.
So it is well over 100,000. So if anybody would kindly help us with that, we would greatly appreciate it. Or go shop at the thrift store.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, is because while these funds are being diverged from the Humane Society, there's still need under the roof.
Right.
There's still things happening. You guys are still functioning as a Humane Society. So please, any and all donations, absolutely appreciated. Even down to, dog food, cat food, litter, things that are needed in the shelter. Those are absolutely appreciated. And any money they don't have to spend on, feeding the animals, keeping them safe and healthy, that can go towards repairs that are absolutely needed for the facility, and long overdue as well.
Yeah, the roof has been long overdue, and it's our air conditioning units sit up on top of the roof. So when they're bowing in, because the metal's getting weaker, but we built that building in the early 80s, and that's the original roof it came with.
Wow.
And then in 2008, we had a repair done on it where they put a foam underneath it, which didn't work out like they said it was going to. So basically the foam was just covering the rusted metal.
Oh, they just band-aided over the problem.
Pretty much.
So thanks, other guys. But we're going with a trusted source, somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yes.
A decent group of people. So this time the job will be done, and it'll be done right, but it will be done for very expensively.
Yeah, unfortunately. So any and all donations towards the roof would be greatly appreciated. That would just help us to where we're able to continue to focus on the care of the animals inside the shelter.
Now, are there any any fundraisers in the works to maybe help beleaguer some of these costs? Anything planned? Ideas in the fire?
So far, no, not yet. Just because we had to make a really quick decision. Because as we get into spring, we have to be on the roof maintaining the air conditioners. And so in order to have it safe for the employees that go up there and maintain the air conditioners, we had to get it done and where it can sit and rest and be comfortable.
Be normal in time for... And, as we all know, warm expands things too. So obviously, things are going to, bow and expand and contract, as it gets warmer out. So that's also becomes an issue. You want to make sure that everything's settled and ready for summertime, because if winter's been as mild as it's been,
we're going to have one hot summer.
Exactly. I'm not looking forward to
it.
Rhiannon's constantly whining about how cold it is. I'm like, remember that in July.
And it's funny because John and I were talking the other day, and I told him, I was like, we're not having a winter. We're having a funky spring, fall. And our summer, we're going to die. Like, it's just going to be astronomically hot and dry.
Power bills are through the roof. It's, it's something that we all deal with. And obviously with you guys with the facility, I'm sure that power bill is not insignificant.
No, because we have swamp coolers for the thrift store, and then for the back where the dogs are, our water bill goes up to like $1,400 to run the swamp coolers, and then us do our daily cleaning, and then the electric bills anywhere between $700 and $800 a month.
That is rough. Any talk or ideas of grants or getting somebody to
we do have 2 people that are on our board that focus on grants, and they've been applying. And trying to do everything that they can to help us get grants. Unfortunately, with us being so small, a lot of the places that give grants look for like populations of like 250, 300,000.
Right.
Where we're not even 100,000. And we can't include Artesia. We can include Lake Arthur, Hager, Dexterman, the little areas, but it's not enough to give us the population we need for some of the better grants.
See, and that's a bummer. It's literally a problem that we can't do anything about. It has no answer on that one. So that's not a source of money. So obviously donations are paramount right now. Making sure that we can keep the doors open, keep the animals fed and safe. And obviously that is the top priority, but making sure that the roof is fixed is definitely a vital thing.
Yeah, we don't want any part of the roof caving in on anybody.
Oh, exactly. So under the roof, how are things with the felines and the canines?
We are full house.
Yeah.
I was supposed to have a transport this past Monday, but because of weather, I had to cancel that transport because the roads were closed and I wouldn't have been able to get through.
Yeah.
So I have every single dog kennel full.
You know, my dad used to have a theory about why it never rains or snows in Roswell. And his theory was that because of all the dairies in Roswell and because of all the methane created by the cows, that we have a methane bubble over Roswell that just blankets us away from any and all storms.
Well, it's funny because my aunt has a similar version, but she calls it the alien dome.
Oh, it just works its way around us because pretty much most of New Mexico and actually like 2/3 of the country were blanketed in snow earlier this week and late last week. So, but we were blue skies and sunshine. Go figure, nicest weather we've had in weeks. But we digress. So full house. Obviously, so when are we able to make that transport?
It was rescheduled for the 29th.
Okay.
So weather permitting again, because down here we don't get crap, but up there they do.
Right.
So, as long as the weather's good and no road closures ahead, I'll be doing another reschedule this transport for the 29th.
Okay.
But complete full house. Like I said, I have no open kennels whatsoever.
So obviously, please, if you have room in your life, or if you are making the decision to adopt, time is the time is right.
It is. Start off the new year with the new dog or cat.
My mind goes to all the car commercials that I cut. Selection is at its best. Come in and make an offer. No reasonable offer will be refused.
We have probably 2 dogs, maybe 3 that have been there almost a year.
Sorry, I'm only laughing because our show is not interesting enough for him to even watch it. I digress. Anyways.
You can see back there.
So as you were saying, sorry.
There's I think 3. One will be February, one's March, and one's April that they'll be hitting their 1-year mark there at the shelter. So really need to focus on getting them a home, getting them out of the shelter, because the longer anybody stays confined, humans or animals, they start to revert to a different state.
It's institutionalization. It happens to humans. It's bound to happen to animals. You revert to the mindset of what's going to keep you the safest in the environment that you find yourself in.
Right.
So you become a kennel dog essentially, and that's no fun. So breed wise, big dog, small dog, some as big as your head.
We have it all. So he's not quite ready for adoption yet, but his name is Einstein.
Okay.
And big name for a dog that is about that big.
Oh.
He is maybe a full pound.
Oh. Dang it, that's adorable. Puppy, I'm assuming?
He's a puppy.
What's the breed?
Chihuahua.
Oh, so he's going to stay that way.
Yeah, and it's funny because his siblings are like 4 of these, and he is so tiny. It's cute.
I will say this, that the small dogs, and I'm guessing it's because the blood doesn't have to move as far around the body to make it, they live forever.
Yeah, 25, 30 years.
My kid's Aunt Betsy has a dog named Saki. This dog, she's had this dog for, I swear, going on like 25 years or so. And I don't know,
And his ears stand up now.
But That's a tough sell right there. I can't. My cat will kill me. And he knows where I sleep, so I can't. I've been very close to adopting. There was one time, I believe this was over the summer during the farmers market. They had the dogs out on the street, which we've talked about the issues with that whole thing. But there was a dog that was there. I saw this dog and almost started crying. I was with my friend Misty. I said, Misty, we need to go. We need to leave right now because I'm going to adopt that dog if we do not leave right now. That was tough. When presented with cuteness, my guard tends to go way down. But yeah, so obviously, big dogs, small dogs, something for everybody. If you live in an apartment, if you're
small,
looking for
medium, large,
something that
the biggest dog we have right now is probably going to be Queenie, Luther, and Canalita.
Okay.
Queenie is a boxer pit mix. She's brindle, beautiful, sweet, housebroken, loves people, loves to love. Luther, probably boxer pit mix. He's brindle and white. He's goofy as all could be. He just doesn't like cats very well. And then Canalita is a healer mix, and she's probably like the size of a small German Shepherd, but looks like a healer.
Healer's become a lot more popular in this region, especially over the last few years. I've really seen a lot more healers popping up.
They're great cattle
specifically
dogs.
Red healers.
Yeah, and those are the ones that aren't very common, but they're becoming a lot more common here.
Yeah.
They're wonderful cattle dogs.
I blame Bluey. I'm just gonna leave that leave it right there.
And but they're active. They have to have a job.
Yep.
They're not, let's sit in the yard dog. No.
Right.
They need a job. They need something to do, and they need something to occupy their brain, because if not, they're gonna lose their crap.
So if you're somebody who has maybe a ranch, a lot of land, looking for something, maybe a cattle dog, something along those lines, definite choice there.
She would be great.
Absolutely. How are things over in the feline world?
We have a ton of black cats.
Really?
Yes, we still have cats from right before Halloween, because we don't do any black cat adoptions for the month of Halloween.
Or white.
Or white.
Right.
So I have 4 black cats. We have Quill and Gable. They're siblings, and they're going on 17 or 18 weeks now.
Okay.
And then we have BB, which stands for Black Beauty.
Nice.
She's going on 2 years now. 2 years old. Not at the shelter for 2 years.
Right.
And then we have a new one. His name is Winston, and he's actually a Bombay. So people don't know the difference between a Bombay and a regular domestic short hair cat. So a domestic short hair cat is going to be all black and have like just normal cat color eyes. A Bombay is all black, and their eyes are amber.
Oh, okay.
Or gold.
Okay.
And their body structure is slightly different, and their facial structure is different.
It's similar thing. I only recently figured out that my cat's breed is Burmese, not Siamese. It was mostly just because of the color of the body is lighter and the color of the eyes. It said, okay, he's a Burmese, not a Siamese. So yeah, there's those tiny little differences in cat breeds. They really do make a difference.
Winston is acclimating into the shelter. Not too fond of it all right now, so a little bit of time and let him calm down and see that everybody in the shelter's not so mean.
Which that's going to take some time, obviously new environment, you got to kind of feel things out.
When they first come into the shelter, obviously, we vaccinate them and get them set, so everybody hates me for a little while after.
It's kind of like, delousing at the jail cell.
They're like,
looks down on the warden.
So they come in, I give them vaccinations, deworming, whatever they need, and he's just like, don't you come near me. Last time I let you touch me, you stabbed me.
It's really funny. I've sort of noticed over the years going with my kids to the doctor, but I've picked up on this. Doctors very rarely are the ones that deliver the shots.
No, it's
They'll
always
come
the
in and
nurses.
do the checkup, and then the nurse comes in and administers the vaccination.
Yes.
Because you don't want your kids to hate their doctor.
No.
And they're going to associate that needle with that doctor. So that's kind of a baller move. You need a assistant that'll just come in and do all the dirty work. That's what we need.
I have other people trained to do it, but the majority of the time it's just easier. I'm right
Just
there.
so you can come in and play good cop, and like every time they give a shot, you smack them on the arm and give them cuddles. Give the animal cuddles.
Well, I always give them a kiss right after I tell them I'm sorry.
Oh, that's horrible, because now they're associating love with pain.
Some people like pain and love.
That's true. I'm just saying, you're making the little,
Well, I tell them I'm
masochist-
sorry. I'm not
masochist.
trying to hurt them. I tell them it's for your health.
That's right. Well,
I'm always nice about it. I'm not like, rah.
And in fairness, a little poke on the side's probably a lot better off than what they were dealing with on the streets.
Yes.
Or out in the world.
Yeah, our world is a cruel, cruel world for these guys.
It's really sad, and that's honestly why I just don't watch I just stopped watching the news. Like we were talking about social earlier, I don't subscribe anywhere on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. I get my stuff usually from YouTube videos.
It's weird because like we normally don't watch the news, and then every now and then, like if I'm looking for like weather or whatever, we'll watch the 10 o'clock news. And it takes them forever to get to the weather, so you have to watch all the other stuff in between. And I'm like, oh my God, this is why I don't watch the news, because I don't need to know this.
I don't have like regular TV.
No, we have an antenna.
Oh, okay. I don't have the energy to put one of those up. I'm sure I could do it, but I just haven't bothered. I have a bunch of different streamers, and I use with the Pluto.
Okay.
I use Pluto a lot, but there's nothing live on Pluto.
Yeah, we
So
just have an
run-
antenna, to get the local channels, and then we stream everything else.
So we can watch our Jeopardies and whatnot. So I like it. So obviously a packed house.
Yes.
What beyond donations for the roof? What are some needs that you guys are finding right now as far as for the shelter itself?
Right now, we just had quite a bit of food and litter donations come in from the Christmas season. We can always use cat litter. We can always use bleach, Dawn, Pine Sol, Clorox wipes.
And you guys, as far as litter goes, you guys don't do the clumping?
No, we just do the
dump it out
cheap
every
clay
day,
cat
right?
litter. And actually, Sam's Club now carries a 52-pound bag, but and it's cheap.
Right.
It's not expensive.
The one that I use, because I just dump it all out. Also, is the special kitty at Walmart, because it's you get like a jug of it for like $7.
Yeah.
So
yes, instead of spending $35, $40 on the scented stuff, we have baking soda that we add into it to help neutralize odors and whatnot. So, just cheap plain cat glitter is always the best way to go.
Definitely a need there at the shelter. So if you can help out through litter donations, through monetary donations, absolutely, that would be most appreciated. And stop by the Humane Society. Take a tour around, walk around, and visit some of the pups and the kitties. They could be your forever friend.
You might not be looking for one, and one might grab your heart, and that be that.
That's right. How are we on volunteers?
We actually have a couple of volunteers that have been pretty steady, coming a couple of times a week. One helps us do cleaning, and then one is doing walking.
Okay.
The weather hasn't been bad, but it also hasn't been like great walking weather. Because normally the majority of the time their schedule is like first thing in the morning, because they have jobs, so they're trying to work around their jobs, and it's been a little too cold in the mornings.
That's a rough sell.
Yeah. But it's this time of the year, it's normal because, everybody's either getting ready to go back to work from Christmas break, or they're going back to wherever. We have a couple of people that they travel down here for the holidays to see family, and they come in and they hang out with us.
Right.
So we have our seasonal volunteers that don't live here.
Which is always nice.
It is.
They're here just long enough for you to not get sick of them.
Yeah.
Some people overstay their welcome. I tend to do that myself. Actually, this year, for Christmas, I specifically told my sister, I'm like, I'm not going to do what everybody thinks I'm going to do and hang out way past my welcome. I'm going to hang out until Wednesday. We ended up staying until Thursday. But, just get as much family time as we can get in without my kids and me just annoying the bejeepers out of everybody. It felt right. It was the prime amount of time.
Nice.
And just enough time for one fight in the front yard. Just enough.
One fight in the front
Just
yard.
one fight in the front yard.
With you and your sister?
I know, it was actually my brother.
That's always fun.
And the rest of the family. Yeah. It
Details
was,
after radio goes off.
absolutely. We're not talking about that here. They can listen. So getting back to the Humane Society. We talked about volunteers. where are we on as far as like you were hiring recently? How's that process been going?
She's working out so far.
Okay.
Roswell doesn't have a lot of candidates that really applied, which surprised me. You know, I thought I'd have a lot of people applying, and I really only had like 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I have somebody. She's learning. You know, she's young and willing to learn, and that's the best part. You know, open-minded, willing to learn, and learns pretty quickly.
We just remind you that the views that you express on Mornings with Mike Winters do reflect those of after you get off. It was a long pause, but it's a new thing. It's everybody's feeling the situation.
It's
out.
so weird
She's
because
learning.
like we get into our routines and somebody new, like learning about them learning about us. Like I'm just so used to like the way things were, and then I'm like, God, this is something new. I have to do something new, and I'm like, I'm kind of like a cat in that manner. I don't like new things.
Right.
But then new things aren't always bad. So.
But it's a feeling out process.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the nice way to say it. Yes.
And the good news is once things are felt out, once she learns, then it'll be a lot more off your shoulders.
Yes, and learning as time goes by, you get more experience with things. So therefore, it's less of me having to remember that, oh yeah, she's new, she doesn't know this. So
yeah, I tend to do that too when I'm training, because I've entered that phase in my life where I'm now teaching the craft to the generation that comes after me, because hopefully there will still be an interest in this business in 10 years. But in that process, I'm like, oh yeah, you don't know how to mix down multi-tracks, huh? Okay, let's step back. I forgot to show you this part. I don't tend to explain in step processes. I tend to be like, did you see what I did there? That doesn't necessarily work so well.
Yeah.
You also have to learn someone's learning style. Like, personally speaking, I learned this early in life, thankfully. I am an audio learner. I learn things by hearing them. If I hear them like 60 times, I will know it. That's actually when I was in, I want to say kindergarten or first grade, they made us memorize the preamble to the Constitution. And I recorded myself on tape saying it and listened to that back like 100 times, so that to this day, I still know what it is.
And that's funny. You started at radio, with the radio, in kindergarten.
Oh,
ironic.
At age 7. So this is a story I've told a couple of times. When I was a 7-year-old, I inherited, because I got all my sister's hand-me-downs, it was an Emerson 2-speaker boombox, dual cassette. But the really, really cool thing about this boombox was there was a microphone built into the speaker. So I started making not just like fake radio tapes. I, in my head, had my own radio station. I called it Shoop 105. I would go on the radio and steal their songs, and I would like time it and do sweepers in between. I would produce my own commercials. At one point, I did a book review of something. And when I was a kid, I wish I still had these tapes. I sounded like Opie from the Andy Griffith Show. I was like, "Do you like books? Well, then I know you like blueberries for Sal." It was. Yeah. I had to drop the regional accent when I moved to New Mexico. But yeah, this was a thing I wanted to do since I was 7. That's
nice.
I've kind of had that in me for a while.
Nice.
But yeah, so I want to encourage the next generation. So I've kind of started that teaching role, but I'm not a good teacher. I'm a great learner. I'm not a great teacher.
And it's weird because, I'm normally very good at teaching as long as I understand their, means of learning. So one of the first questions I ask is, are you a hands-on learner? Are you a visual learner? Do you need it written out? Do you like to read it? You tell me what helps you. So therefore, I can accommodate how to help you.
Help me help you.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes.
So, okay, so good. Spots have been filled. And obviously, though, if, keep taking resumes. If, you have a passion for animals, it's something you've wanted to do for a while. If you have experience, maybe drop a resume off and see what happens in the future.
Yeah.
You never know what could happen.
For the thrift shop.
Yes, let's move on over to the store.
Since it is Arctic wind outside, they have a lot of comforters. So if you need some new bedding for your house and you want to change up a little bit, they've got it in all sizes.
I run into the unique problem of having a California king.
So do you know the only difference between a California king and a regular king?
I thought it was the length.
It is so it is 2 inches longer. That's all it is.
Really?
Yeah. I have a California king.
Okay.
Yeah.
So king size stuff technically fits.
Yeah.
Okay. Just not as deeply. That's good to know because I was gifted a sheet set over the Christmas break that was just a king.
Yeah. So it will fit.
Awesome. Cool.
They have a refrigerator. They have it for $250. It's just a regular upright. The door handle is missing on it. They did clean it exceptionally well. The inside looks brand new. The outside's a little dented and dinged up, but it works great.
And honestly, who needs a handle on your refrigerator? Most of the time, you're just walking up and doing that thing where you put your thumb on the freezer door and you pivot the side.
I have a side by side, so I have to use the handle.
Oh well, fair enough.
Yeah.
And honestly, with today's side by sides, that's like unlocking a vacuum handle.
It's not that new of a side by side.
Suction shut. Well, I had a friend who had like one of those brand new ones.
Yeah, I want one. I want the Samsung smart fridge that you tap and it opens up so you don't have to open the door to look in. And then I want it to be like where I can look on my phone and see the camera and be like, oh, I'm out of milk. I'm at the grocery store.
I'm sorry. That's Alexa clean my butt levels of laziness, okay?
But I like it. I don't want
fun this way.
I don't want some automated thing cleaning my butt. I want automated thing telling me what I don't got in the fridge.
That's right.
That's more important to me.
You're absolutely right. So not the smartest fridge available, but definitely a refrigerator.
It is, and it works really good. They have it plugged in and running, so that way if you want to go check it out, make sure you feel that it's cold enough for whatever you want. It's there. They have a crib to bed.
Oh, okay.
Very nice wood frame, beautiful. 2 32-inch flat screen TVs. They have checked them out. They do work. They have a royalty tea set, and I'm probably not saying it for whatever it's correctly labeled.
Okay.
But like when you watch like the British TV shows and they're having tea, and they have like the tea plates, the teacups, and then they have
the fancy the metal or the
tea pitchers. Well, these are all ceramic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're hand painted.
So it's a classic tea service.
Yeah. Okay. So they have the entire set marked for $200.
Wow.
And it's a big set. So you've got 2 tea pitchers, and then you've got like your cream pitcher, your sugar, like everything to have like a gigantic tea party.
That's
or
awesome.
Coffee party.
So, but we live in the world of cosplaying. So think about it, those cosplayers out there that want to have the true British experience.
Right.
Grab yourself that tea service set. Get yourself a few fancy biscuits.
Yeah.
And maybe a nice pudding.
Yeah. They have 2 fish tanks.
Okay.
They have a hide-a-bed couch.
Awesome. Always handy if you have family coming in.
Ironically, this caught my eye, and I don't know why because I do not drink wine, but they have a 5-piece wine accessory set.
Really?
So everything you need to open a bottle of wine.
Okay.
And then some.
Nice. Does it come with teeth stained disapproving mother?
No.
Oh, okay. So you have to provide your own. That will not be a problem.
Nope.
Just for the record, that won't be a problem in my family.
Nope.
I can provide that.
They have a lot of arts and crafts stuff. Brushes, like the paint brushes, anything like from yarn to from like crocheting needles. Like they have a cute, decent sized arts and crafts section. Awesome. They have a ton of puzzles. So if anybody is a puzzle person, they have about 50 boxes of 1,000 piece puzzles and smaller.
Question.
What?
Have these been checked?
They are still sealed.
Okay, that answers that question. Because there is nothing on the planet more frustrating
and missing a piece.
Buying a puzzle from a thrift store or from like the Salvation Army or Goodwill and getting it almost all the way done, and you're missing 3 pieces.
So yeah, the majority of these ones are sealed, like never open. And the ones that are open, I do believe that they do go through and check them.
Okay. I just picture you guys have like a master puzzle builder in the back. You guys could have another kennel worker.
Do you know what's easier? Instead of trying to put it together, just count the pieces. Box says 500, count 500.
Yeah, but that's tedious.
I would rather count than try to put the puzzle together.
No, you're absolutely right on that one.
Blankets galore. So regular comforters for beds and then blankets. So some of the blankets they have would be good, like if you need like blankets for your dogs, like to put in the kennel with them or something, so they have something to lay on.
Sure.
That's what those would be good for. A lot of Roswell high school t-shirts, where you got to pay $25, $30 for them brand new. They got like 4 boxes of them.
Really?
So she's got them marked for $5 a shirt. So that way it saves people money on buying their kids sport or school memorabilia, and they're still getting to rock the school colors.
Absolutely. And remember, it's beyond saving yourself money, because every time you spend money at the Humane Society, you're helping keep their doors open.
Yes. Yes, very much.
Absolutely. So obviously, lots of stuff happening at the Humane Society, full house. So, no more at this point, but let's clear the house so we can let's clear the lot so we can make room for the new arrivals. Again,
Right.
It always bleeds in. Give us the hours.
Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 12 and 1 to 4:30 for the kennels. And then the thrift store is Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 4:30.
Excellent. And if folks want more information, if they want to
They
find
can
out
call
more
the
about
kennels 622-8950. If they want to make a donation to the thrift store or need stuff picked up, they can call and talk to Camille, or I think Manny does scheduling too.
Okay.
It's 623-9210. We have our website, roswellhumane.org.
And you guys post pictures of the adorable adoptables.
Yeah,
as well.
so everything that is in our shelter is on our website.
Awesome.
If it says not available, that means it is in quarantine for either vaccinations, weight, or we're making sure it doesn't have parvo, distemper, kennel cough, anything like that. And especially with that new respiratory illness coming around, we're keeping a little closer eye.
Oh, is there something coming around? I'm so tired of sickness.
I agree.
I just
it's this new dog respiratory that started off way back east, and it has ventured to New Mexico. We have luckily not had any here in Chavez County. Right. But it does not respond to antibiotics. It does not respond to normal treatment that you would typically treat somebody or an animal with a respiratory illness. So it's very, very bad.
That's rough.
It is. So, and the vaccinations that we give for animals to help keep them from getting respiratory infections, this isn't covered in it because it's a completely new development. So they don't even know completely how to treat it quite yet, let alone build a vaccination for it.
It's if you think back to the COVID age, when you watched something spread, how quickly a disease can spread from a couple of cases in a state to now this is a nationwide pandemic.
Right.
So just bear that in mind. What can we do have to wrap soon? But what are some things that people can do meantime to help keep their dogs safe?
Make sure you get them the border televaccinations from your vet. Don't take them to strange places with dogs that you are unfamiliar with. Like if you don't know if they're vaccinated for everything they need to be, don't take your dogs around them. If you're at the dog park, obviously we would love for people to be honest and say, yes, these are my dog's vaccinations, but can't guarantee that they have them. So I'd steer clear from the dog parks for a while. Okay. And just, take them to the park and walk them, exercise them that way, but keep them away from other dogs that you're not 100% sure of their vaccinations.
6 feet apart.
I'd go like 40.
If you will.
But that's me.
There you go. So again, folks want more information, give the Humane Society a call. Check out the website. All the need-to-know info is up there, including, pictures, and you'll fall in love before you even darken the door.
And he was already in love with Einstein, and he only saw a photo.
It was just one photo, doggone it. That little fell on my lap. Well, Ms. Crystal, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate having you here.
The American Legion Post 61 has now taken ownership of Memory Lawn Memorial Cemetery. Commander Stephen Lee in Roswell told the Daily Record that members and their families will volunteer at the private nonprofit cemetery. The Legion also holds several events there each year. The family of Henry Mayhew had been caring for the cemetery since his death in 2022. Mayhew was one of several people who sued the previous owners due to lack of care at the cemetery. The Artesia Daily Press is reporting that EOG Resources will close its Artesia office. Several employees confirmed the closure Friday. 55 workers will reportedly be affected. Later, EOG issued a statement that said it was consolidating its Artesia and Midland, Texas offices into one division, which would be located in Midland. The statement from the company says about half of the employees are expected to retire, while the other half will be offered a chance to relocate to other EOG offices. The company did not give a reason for the Artesia office closure. You're up to date. Reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your We have a stationary front just off to our east, about 50 on the afternoon high. Then tonight, a few clouds. We do have some cold air moving in from the northern Rockies. Our lows 10 to 15. And then tomorrow we'll get sunshine. It will be quite a bit cooler. Afternoon highs in the upper 30s. We bounce back to the 60s with sunshine on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
I'm John Scott. Voting is set to begin tonight in Iowa. There's